live again, testing some commands. Well, maybe if we start playing a game, the commands will work. Just going to jump into a match, see if that makes the deck command work, and then if not, I can set it manually. Alright, this hand has 5 lands and nothing, no place till turn 4. Can't keep that kind of thing in Historic. This hand is risky, for sure. But if we get a second land in the first 2 turns, we have Wall Blossoms, which is great. Up against Green-White Humans, which is generally a good matchup. If I don't hit my second land, I am just going to concede the game and move on, because I do want to spend time testing, I don't know, games where my deck is functional. You don't really learn anything from playing a game on 2 lands. Yep, alright. Moving on to game 2. Against aggro, we do want some portable holes. We are going to cut. Honestly, it's kind of hard to find cuts against these decks. 3-bin Spectre, generally not necessary. Ambitious Farmhands, just a little bit weak. And sometimes I cut a Chariot against decks that play Thalia. On the play, it's really strong, though, so we could cut something else. I'm never sure what the, maybe just Ephemerate. Ephemerate's pretty good. It's hard for them to disrupt, which is nice. It does get hit by Esper Sentinel and Thalia, but still strong. I'll just cut a Ranger Captain. Ranger Captain doesn't have that much stuff that's useful to search for. Yeah, Green-White Humans is a fantastic matchup. I think the only match I've ever lost to this deck out of many was one where I just got mana screwed in 2 out of the 3 games, and as long as we can hit land drops, we're generally extremely favored against them. Just go way over the top and have plenty of ways to blunt their early aggression. Starting on Temple Garden here because we're almost certainly going to want to play this on white. We have a ton of green mana. We need double white in this deck for a bunch of things. Yeah, so now we just get to go Blade Splicer. And just Blade Splicer into Ephemerate on turn 3 has a pretty good chance of just dumpstering our opponent before they get anywhere. Luminarch Aspirant, don't care. Question is, do I have a reason to do this to wait on this? The only thing that really punishes me that they could plausibly have in their deck would be Fateful Absence, which I wouldn't expect to see. Generally, these decks play Deck and Stone. Still think I hold out for a bit here. I am going to portable hold the Luminarch Aspirant. It's basically the, among the best targets in their deck. The one reason that you might want to hold off on portable hold in a situation like this would be because of Containment Priest. But if they do have a Containment Priest, I can just use Yorion to blink the portable hole, so it's not that big of a deal. Let's check if the deck command's working yet. Beautiful. Cardboard Live is still on for some reason, but we'll deal with that later. Ooh, Banalish Marshal. That's not one you see too often. But that's a great time to get Blade Splicer off. So we just spent 1 mana to make 2 3/3 first strikers, which is a considerably better rate than humans gets on any of their cards. And every spell in our deck at this point is just phenomenal. Charming Prince, that's a good one. It's going to set up a Yorion loot for me starting next turn, and also going to give me another 3/3 first striker. So we are going to run humans down very easily. Oh, I need to put on some tunes too. Let's put on some music. Forgot about that. Meanwhile, we'll just go ahead and Charming Prince. So unless my opponent is sideboard in Day of Judgment, it appears they have not. Okay. Cool. So on the draw, I don't think anything really. On the draw, we might cut a Chariot. Though it's hard to think what I'm even cutting a Chariot for. Could be something like Elite Spellbinder, which is big enough to trade with an opposing human and hold off a Collected Company for some length of time, which seems important. In fact, it's not crazy to cut some of the Ranger Captains for Spellbinders against specifically a Collected Company deck. It's just so good to hold them off of that turn 4 company. Ranger Captain fetching Selfless Savior is definitely some solid combat power, but I don't know, this is a thing I'd like to experiment with more against these Collected Company style aggro decks, is just bring in Spellbinders. I don't know how much I like Giant Killer in general. If this is a thing I'm experimenting with, it's probably something that I should be putting all the copies in just to see how this works. I'm not sure this is a good idea or not. Consistently Dog. I hope I'm back to streaming. It's not necessarily going to be on a particular schedule yet, but definitely enjoyed streaming last weekend. Alright, so we've got Llanowar Elves. We don't have anything resembling a green source. We do have Charming Prince, which can scry me into a green source. So is this good enough to keep with Charming Prince into Spellbinder with an Ephemerate up? I think so. This is close. Basically, if I hit a turn 1 green source, the hand's insane. And... okay, yeah. So rewarded, but even so, just like turn 2 Prince, scry, Ephemerate being like 1 mana gain 6 if need be, I think we were in pretty good shape there. So here I'm just going to go ahead and drop Spellbinder. I would like to ideally make sure they don't play Thalia next turn so I can get the Chariot down on turn 3. Interesting. Aspirant, Lieutenant, their own Spellbinder. So I can't stop them from attacking with a 4/4 this coming turn. I think out of all these cards, the one I care the most about getting rid of is probably the Aspirant here. Thalia's Lieutenant just doesn't get big very quickly. Aspirant's like slightly more annoying to deal with. They could make like 2 evenly sized creatures a bit easier. Tough call. I could see a lot of... it seems like a pretty close decision. Hey, Flying MTG, it's going great. We are up against our best matchup to start off the day. Green-White Humans kind of gets dumpstered by the Yorion deck. Elite Spellbinder honestly doing a perfectly fine job. You know, it's going to threaten to block and trade with something at some point. And now, in any case, we've got Chariot, which is just really hard for them to deal with, especially when it gets ephemerated, which is going to happen next turn. And let's see, if they play Banalish Marshal, they have a 3/3 Lieutenant, which still can't attack through Chariot. I'm going to go ahead and attack here. It's possible that attacking there at any point is like maybe wrong, but yeah, okay, they just missed their 3rd land drop and they realized it's very likely they'd be blinking this Chariot, which in fact was going to be happening. Yeah, the Humans deck is powerful. It seems like not as good as the number of people who are playing it would make it seem. Like, it seems overplayed, but I might just be saying that because I've only been playing this deck, really. I searched for a long time to find a good Yorion deck, and this is the only good one so far. I guess. I had a lot of failures. It's mostly just really hard to play Yorion Control when Geralt Control is kind of generating similar amounts of value, but coming out much faster and getting to play a 60-card deck. If I had to guess, I'd say there might be a Yorion deck somewhere that could be like Jeskai, maybe? Ugh. Yeah, these Ephemerate's really good. I waffle between playing 3 and 4 copies just because hands like this are so painful. Although, of course, if this hand had a Wall of Blossoms or even a Prosperous Innkeeper, these Ephemerates would be the bomb. I could try and keep. If I draw Charming Prince, Prosperous Innkeeper, Wall of Blossoms, or Llanowar Elves, this hand looks pretty good all of a sudden. If I don't draw any of those cards in the first turn or two, it's not good at all. Man, Leggings, I'm glad you're enjoying the mono blue. I have off of standard for now, but I'm glad I could leave something behind. I guess I also have one Ambitious Farmhand, which would be fine with these Ephemerates. So it's like 1 more hit. Damn, it's really painful. I think we mull this. I think the responsible choice is to mull that hand. This hand's better. Yeah. Definitely a tough call. Alright, we drew the Ephemerate anyway, so that means I'm definitely playing Scattergroves. I expect us to have plenty of ways to use mana. Alright, looks like we're up against some sort of control deck. Control is interesting. We are pretty resilient against sweepers. We are not good at all against Teferi. Teferi is very scary. And I'm assuming this is just going to be an Archmage's Charm for my Ranger Captain of Eos, which makes me think that what I want to do here might just be... No, they don't have Archmage's Charm. What am I talking about? Alright, so we're just going to Ranger Captain this turn. They could counter it, of course. There are plenty of other counters they could have, but Fire Prophecy is interesting. Okay. What does Fire Prophecy mean? Does this mean they're playing some kind of, what is it called? Indomitable Creativity deck? Alright, I'm going to assume that probably that means Indomitable Creativity, which means I'm going to get Giant Killer here. Normally against a control deck, I'd probably grab Selfless Savior because it lets me save up, indestructibility to like land an Ephemerate or something, but I think I just don't want to get comboed today. And I think this is just Yorion to hand here. Opponent's not going to be thoughts using it. I don't really have anything to worry about. And I can't stop them from casting some kind of big draw spell if they want to do that. Prismari Command? Yeah, this definitely smells like they are... Question is, do I land this Ephemerate now? I don't think so. This feels like it could be a really grindy fight. I don't know. So I'm curious how many emissaries they usually play. It doesn't really matter. We can beat... Pretty sure we can beat a couple of emissaries. Maybe we can't. They might also have like a Coma here. If they have a Coma, I'm going to want to stop on my upkeep. I don't really know what these decks usually play. I guess I'm about to find out, though. I might just lose. Alright, they have 2 emissaries. That is super duper beatable. Oh wait, the emissaries get protection from instants. Whoops. Maybe I should have planned for that one, huh? Protection from instants, protection from enchantments. Alright, so can I actually remove the emissaries? I don't think I can, actually. That's a problem. We might just be completely hopeless. I've never seen this deck on ladder a single time. Literally have never seen it. And yeah, we're just going to be a little too slow here, I think, to be taking 14 a turn. There are big boards we can assemble in the late game that could technically beat this, if we just have a lot of Restoration Angels to block them. But, yeah, literally can't beat this before I get killed. Hey, Wally! Alright, well, we just played against a really good matchup, and now we're against a matchup that seems, really frickin' hard. Really frickin' hard. I don't really know. So this is where, like, the Bant Blink deck, I played some Bant Blink as well, and it's less consistent and takes more damage off of its lands, and in general didn't feel quite as smooth, but certainly having a bunch of copies of Malevolent Hermit, which is really broken in with Soul Herder, lets you kind of crush these decks. While it's going okay, I'm a little sad to have just gotten getting smashed by a deck I'm pretty sure we're not going to beat, but this is where we bring in 4 copies of Elite Spellbinder and Prey. We're going to get some Blade Splicers? That's tough. I guess Amiri's Call is technically an out to some Angels too, if it comes to that. Tolsimir? Tolsimir, if our opponent's not ready, can maybe help us kill an emissary, but it seems kind of unlikely to work. You can blink it a lot of times, so it's not completely impossible just to kill an emissary with 3 Vojas. I guess Skyclave Apparition has literally no targets, huh? Should probably cutting Skyclave Apparitions. Maybe I bring in Toski. That's a card I'm supposed to be testing its control right now. And if I'm bringing in Toski, I don't really want to cut Blade Splicer. I think I cut Thraven Inspector, which again just seems too slow to be important. And maybe I cut 1 Tolsimir. Yeah, this is really tough. I guess the card I would be running that in theory... Yeah, unfortunately there's no Skyclave Apparition equivalent for bigger creatures that's not really expensive, but I have considered the White Cavalier. The White Cavalier could give me some outs to what they're doing. It's not a great hand, but it's not like we're going to get much better from here. I am going to save the Giant Killer. It's possible I should just be slamming the Giant Killer and just trying to clock them. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. Giant Killer is, like, not terrible. I mean, it probably just eats removal, but it might also be able to stop an emissary or something. Briblek, you may have just gotten here. Bant Blink, no. The blue splash actually hurts a lot. You don't even have a Triome. It's pretty hard to do 3 colors in this format. And Soul Hoarder, sadly, is, you know, it just kind of dies to every removal spell in the format. This is not, you know, Historic is not a format where you can just count on keeping your creatures alive. Thus, all of our stuff is really expendable. Alright, we should have attacked with the Giant Killer first, I guess. It's my mistake. Alright, well, we'll grab Honestly, I think it's just Llanowar Elves here over Selfless Savior. Get our mana going. I don't even know what you're referring to, Well, I generally don't remember how Standard works. What's the deck that splashes for a single card? Aren't they all pretty dedicated to whatever colors they're playing? Alright, well this might be a really quick round. One thing about the green-white blink strategy is you do have to accept there are some things you're not beating. Like I fully expect that we will never be able to beat an Epiphany deck either. Not Epiphany, what am I thinking of? Epiphany we beat pretty easily, but yeah, the term I'm thinking of is... It seems really difficult to beat Ultimatum, that's it. I haven't seen an Ultimatum deck yet, but the Sultai Ultimatum seems hopeless. Here I'm just hoping they don't have a sweeper. Alright. Ranger Captain at least is very good against spells like Lightning Helix. Esika's Chariot, okay. There's a real question here about whether I'm supposed to sack Ranger Captain on their upkeep here and just try to like kill them with Chariot before they can get the emissaries down.
That's the goal.
That's true, FlyMTG, so we can beat them sometimes. I feel like it's probably hard... Like, it's hard for them to kill us to kill them fast enough that they can't, like, kill our Ranger Captain and then kill us. Like, Ranger Captain is, you know, nice defense, but not really sufficient. So let's see. They currently would need untapped red and creativity to beat me. I think I just chill. I don't think it's time yet. They need untapped red and creativity. They can't Dwarven Mine yet. They don't have enough mountains. They might just sweep me, but I can just sack Savior to protect Ranger Captain. And then I'm hitting them for 7 by just crewing the Chariot and not blinking it with Yorion. Search for Esika. Alright. I love seeing that one in their deck. If they're playing something that slow, I'm very happy about that. Okay, there's the next red source they needed. So we probably will be looking to sack the Ranger Captain. Okay. So Llanowar Elves is actually a decent draw. Let's just hit them for a little bit more damage. So we get to crew Chariot now and leave up a cat to attack with. Remember to put that stop on their upkeep. Prismari command on the Chariot. Okay. So that's clever of them. So what I could do is I could crew this again in response to make it a creature. And then sack Savior to save it from the command. I give up... I don't really give up any damage here, actually. That seems better. Whoop, not that, not that. Okay. Should be okay. Yeah, I added Selfless Savior relatively recently, and Selfless Savior is really good. Really, really good magic card. Glad I put that one in. Okay, so we get to attack, copy a cat, hit him, play this. They're now tapped out. Yeah, you do get some nice little lines with this deck sometimes. I don't know, they done goofed. That might have been the thing they had to do there to try and stay alive. Alright, we don't have anything to fetch with Llanowar Elves, but it's fine. You know, by the time you've run out of targets, your Ranger Captain has probably done the Lord's work anyway. One problem here is they could just, if they have a third white source, they could theoretically just flip this Esika over and then cast an Emissary, but their hand has to be untapped white source Emissary, and, you know, if that's what they have, they got me. Mystical Dispute, that's a good card to know about for game 3. They could also Wrath the board if they have, like, actual Wrath of God. No, they can't. I sacked Ranger Captain, I don't know what I was talking about. Good. Yeah, Wally, when I'm only on the one savior, honestly, I could see taking it to 2, but it's just hard to find a lot of room for this package. Cerizium, hey there! And Alexander Grand Bacon. Sorry, missed your follow before, but thank you for following. Cerizium, thanks for the resubscription. 19 months. God, it's been 19 months. I mean, it's tough, Wally One. You tell me what card you want me to cut. How about that? How about that, Wally One? You tell me what card I should be cutting. Okay. So search for Esconta.
Tonight, Chet. That's the goal.
I still don't think it makes any sense to do Skyclave Apparitions. To search for Esconta alone is not a sufficient threat for me to care about. I think we just roll it back. Wally One, don't maybe go Jeff Hoagland on you. I will do it. Hey, a Drew Ambitious Farmhand for the first time. This is a card I've been wanting to see in action. Mostly just here because I desperately needed, like, 1 or 2 more cards I could actually cast in the early game. Oh my god, Hard Evidence is in this format. I forgot that Hard Evidence was in this format. Anyway, the deck just, like, can suffer from a lack of early drops, and you desperately just need, like, blinkable stuff that provides value. This thing casting Spellbinder is gas. Wow, this is so scary. Can't attack through this at all. This crab is going to brickwall me. Yikes. Alright, well. Let's see how they deal with this one. Alright. Anger of the Gods, double creativity. So next turn they just get a Sarah's Emissary if they want to? And I can't stop them from doing that? So I'm going to have to take Anger. Alright, so I have to pray here that they get a little bit greedy and don't just go for the instant Emissary? I guess I can beat 1 Emissary with this hand. I can totally beat 1 Emissary with this hand. Oh, I can't beat 2 Emissaries though, and that's what they're gonna get, and I couldn't stop them? Oh no, they only went for 1. Okay. They have a Teferi in their deck. Good lord, that's so greedy. Alright, well... This is gonna be an interesting game. So step 1 is going to have to be we get this other one out of their hand, right? So make it cost 6 mana. It's a sorcery, so they... Yikes. Alright, I think they're going to have to misplay here. I think we have to hope they misplay. That's my current strategy. So we have to have them attack with Emissary here. We block with Elite Spellbinder. We try restoring the Spellbinder, hope it works. They haven't drawn like a Prismari Command or something. We blink this, hit their creativity. And we make it cost 6 mana, which they do have anyway. So this is actually... Alright, it's hopeless. Okay, well... We got lucky to win 1 game there. This matchup seems impossible. I guess the actual thing I should be doing is... am I supposed to bring in Portable Hole? I think the actual thing I need to do is just never see this matchup again. Although... Yeah, the things they were doing there do seem kind of unbeatable for a lot of decks. Mezzadine, my process was playing a bunch of bad decks and losing a lot, and then figuring out when one of my decks wasn't losing a lot and slowly improving that deck. It took me, I mean, I came back to Historic after being away from Magic for like 5 months, so I just, yeah, played a bunch. And I watched a lot of streams too, you know, watching people who play a lot of like high-level Historic, like Wyatt Darby, or Seth Manfield has been playing some Historic lately, that sort of thing helps a lot too. Aerodozer, that was Indomitable Creativity, a combo deck that puts, you know, several creatures that I can't kill in any way onto the battlefield. Temple Garden's a fantastic draw. Lets me jam turn 2 Ranger Captain, potentially. Looks like this is probably just Phoenix, a matchup I'm happy to be testing against a lot. It's felt very even so far. Hall of Storm Giants, never mind. This might be Epiphany? Stomp. Rude. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking that hopefully losing Memory Lapse would just get rid of the deck completely, and that doesn't seem to have been the case. So, question here is whether I jam Ranger Captain or just Skyclave. I think it's just Skyclave here. I just don't think this is going to have that many targets against their deck. So I want to like get rid of stuff while the going's good. Slight worry about Shark Typhoon here. I don't really know. Haven't seen much Shark Typhoon in general. I could have gone for Ranger Captain first to try and stop that from happening. By the way, we're like flooding like crazy here. This is probably going to be tough. Okay, Ranger Captain resolving's great. So we'll grab Selfless Savior or Thraven Inspector. It's actually kind of tricky. So the obvious thing that they could go for here would just be to sweep my board, in which case I'd like Selfless Savior. Yeah, I want Selfless Savior here. Reason being that I can, if they are planning to sweep next turn, I can protect Ranger Captain, then blink it, and get the Inspector anyway. Okay. Sure. Alright, so... Well, they have anger, it's fine. Expressive Iteration into anger... This almost makes me just want to sack Ranger Captain out of spite, but realistically we're just going to pull land off of this, so it doesn't really matter. This particular card might be what I would ban if I was allowed to ban one card in Historic. It's a weird choice, but I think it just elevates all the blue-red decks slightly over what they're supposed to be in like a weird way that's kind of hard to explain. Mostly it's just that playing any control deck that doesn't have this card feels kind of hopeless when you're up against control decks that do play this card because it's so strong. Ooh, okay. Opponent's Grixis, which makes me think they might be on the Grixis treasure list. There's no reason to sack this here, but I think it's good to just be in the habit of doing that. Yeah, Seth Manfield's been playing a Grixis treasure list that, ouch. Alright, well this draw was just heinous, unfortunately. We could still get back into it pretty easily. If we draw like a single Wall of Blossoms, we could be in phenomenal shape. But I'm worried that we're going to get killed by Magma Opus before there's time for that to happen. Even just Halt the Storm Giants is sort of a threat. Yep, alright. Yeah, the last two decks we're playing against are what I'm really hoping not to see. The things that the Yorion deck is very good against, I'm just going to scoop here. This is, again, trying to mostly play out games that are close and interactive and interesting, and this is one I'm happy to say, nope, not winning that. So anyway, the decks we don't want to see are like the Gearhulk Magma Opusy decks are hard. Like we want to see a lot of Humans, Phoenix, Jund, Merfolk. Those are all matchups I'm very happy with. All the creature decks and the decks that are trying to do a slow grindy thing that doesn't have a combo finish. Decks with a combo finish are really tough. I think... Alright, so against the control deck we cut Llanowar Elves. We just need all of our cards to do things. Add Toski. Add Spellbinder, cut Blade Splicer, which just dies to Sweltering Suns. Cut a couple of Skyclave Apparition. We might cut all of them. Yeah, I think we just cut all of them probably again. They have Bone Crusher Giant, but I don't really care that much about Bone Crusher Giant. We're just trying to be the better control deck here. We bring in the Rest in Pieces. I'm going to bring in one Yashar because I need to bring in something. Miles asked me, I don't think you need Deafening Silence. I feel like 4 copies of Ranger Captain probably handles a lot of that stuff, and... Ew. Actually, yeah, I'll keep this. Reasoning behind this is that we've got a couple of Cycle Lands which are useful. Wall of Blossoms is really good against these control decks. It's kind of annoyingly hard to kill, and... You know, if you resolve one, it's usually going to draw you 3 to 5 cards over the course of the game. So Wall of Blossoms can really staple together some awkward hands. Chariot against the Prismari command deck's a little sad, but whatever. Still trades 1 for 1, basically. And yeah, here I'm just going to probably go for... Could go for Rest in Peace. If it gets negated, I'm a little sad, but gets it in under Archmage's Charm, I think I do this. Let's just make them have the answer now. They can't dispute it. They could censor it, but I don't think this deck plays censor. Jax Mox, no. There's not really so much of a... You know, we don't really have the key spells thing as much. And B, not having Yorion just makes a huge difference. Just you really, it's really. I've tried playing this deck on 60 cards, and you really deeply miss having an 8-card starting hand. It's just such a tremendous difference. It's hard to overstate. All right, well, if they kill the first one, there's more where that came from. Yeah, it's something I'm often tempted with the Yorion decks is, oh, you know, what if I just play 4 Yorions in the deck or something, and just, you know, have it on turn 5 every game, but no, you get ground out way too easily. Miles Houseman, you're looking at my answer to the Opus deck. My answer to the Opus deck is Rest in Peace. Like, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. They can still cast Magma Opus, but if they're just casting Magma Opus for 8 mana, you're not in a bad spot at all. That's fine. You are plenty fast enough to handle an 8 mana Opus. Thing I have to watch out for is like the timing of when I put Yorion into my hand, just because Thoughtseize taking Yorion is sad. But, you know, depending on what I draw next turn, I just might not have a choice, and I have to just do something. If they have Fatal Push, they can go after Chariot with it. Ephemerate would be fantastic. How about an Overgrown Farmland, Aaron? Alright, we'll cycle first in case we had Ephemerate or something else that might change my decisions. Rest in Peace again. Yeah, this is... It's a sad thing. I feel like you need 3 of this card to have a chance of drawing it, but then sometimes you do just get kind of overwhelmed. Alright, if they have Fatal Push, Chariot goes down, that's whatever, it's fine. But we do have a clock going. Their Torrential Gear Hulks are not very good at this point. Let's add Yorion to hand, whatever. Try and put some stress on them, make them have more things. Toski would be an amazing draw right now. Alexander Gordon Brown is encouraging me to try it, and I actually love the idea of Toski. Gosh, these draws are garbage. Alright. Come on, Scattergroves. Find me something, please. Ephemerate, Resto, Blade Splicer, just any spell? No? Okay. I guess I should be playing the Pathways, technically. Alright, we do want to save Yorion until we can get around Mystical Dispute with it. Now, is Chariot dying? Chariot's probably dying. There's part of me just wants to attack with the cats because I'm so certain they have something up to stop Chariot. In fact, I am going to attack with the cats. I like that idea the more I think about it. Here we come. Okay, got him to 8. And I don't see any reason not to just play the second Rest in Peace. You may be right, man, Leggings. It's probably time for me to acknowledge this deck's power enough to actually put good basics in it. Whoop. But yeah, the person asking about a 60-card deck before, thing is, in Magic, you just do Flood sometimes, and you really need, I don't know, another 8th card in your hand to deal with those situations. Alright, I did put an Amiria's Call in the deck. Just now did put an Amiria's Call in the deck, so we could find that. Opponent's on 7 cards, and this is looking pretty bad. 6 cards, I guess. Toski! Okay. And they just used their Extinction Event? Okay, I'm gonna play Toski now. Save Yorion for when we can use Mystical Dispute. Again, I played the wrong land. I should have obviously played the land they knew about. Jazzmox, the reason to go green-white is so you're playing... I mean, the normal reason is to be 2 colors instead of 3 colors. Usually it's better to be 2 colors than 3 colors in general. Alright, so they are now in Magma Opus territory. But if they cast Magma Opus, I get to cast Yorion, so whatever. Can live with that. But yeah, more consistency, and the Bant cards just haven't felt stupendous to me. Alright, so they're going for the Opus here. Which means I do get to cast Yorion, I have plenty of mana for that. Of course, after Opus, they're still going to have a zillion cards, so this is still... rough, but you know, we're going to do what we can here on a really horribly floated draw. What's that? That's 17 cards into the deck, and we've gotten 11 lands. Alright, well, here's Yorion. Don't pack negation me, thank you. Alright, so we're forcing them to like respond to a couple different axes. They are at 8 life. Another Magma Opus would kind of pwn me, but whatever. Yorion's not an easy card to stop unless they have the other Magma Opus, and even that's temporary. I could also draw, like, another Yorion, or a Ephemerate or a Restoration Angel. All those would be just absolutely sickening draws. We've got options. Okay, Elite Spellbinder. Could be worse, I guess. It's at least a creature. Okay, time to try to enter combat and see what happens. I imagine it's going to look like another Magma Opus. Oh, did I not blink Toski? Yeah, I should have blinked Toski up. Guess you're right. Blinking Toski's free. Yeah, any reasonable draw against what our opponent has had here probably would have crushed them. Alright, so they're tapping Yorion Chariot. Fine, can't crew Chariot. It's totally whatever. They're up to 9 cards in hand. There's a good chance this turn is just going to be Spellbinder into Scoop. And I'm already looking... No, Toski would have been fine if we'd had a reasonable draw again. It's tough. It's real tough. Alright, so they've got Mizzix's Mastery... Doomblade, I mean, the Spellbinder doesn't do much. I'm going to take Doomblade here, I guess. No, I should just take Expressive Iteration. They can... Yeah. Alright, well, their hand is kind of poopy. The problem is this Hall of Storm Giants is really good. I am just going to play this land. You never know when you're going to rattle off like a couple of Wall of Blossoms in a row or something. I don't know. By the way, hi, Hopkus. Also, Mingus, Jarpin, and Elian Eska, thanks for the follow. I guess I'm not hearing follow sounds. I hope y'all are hearing follow sounds. Are you all hearing follow sounds? Awkward. Yep. Dead Spellbinder, sure. So this is broken, it doesn't do anything. Doomblade killing Yorion's pretty awkward. Are they going to attack and probably are attacking with 1 here? We've still got some great spells, like Yorion here would be fantastic. Would be happy to see a Yorion. Elite Spellbinder, could be worse. Okay, actually I like Elite Spellbinder here. This lets me crew Chariot. Never mind. Oh wait, Fatal Push doesn't actually do anything here, so I could crew Chariot attack. Yeah, they have lethal on the backswing with Hall of Storm Giants, but in order to do that, they would have to not block Chariot. And if they don't block Chariot, I could draw something that would keep me alive. Okay. So they can now Fatal Push the Spellbinder. They get to attack back for 11. So it's obviously not a favorable position, but if they do attack back for 11, they can't cast Iteration. Okay. If I find a, what do you call it, Ranger Captain of Eos, I can get Giant Killer kill the Elemental. That would be a good one, potentially. Charming Prince does not do much, huh? Does Scry. I guess things could be worse. And Toski's like doing a reasonable job. We're holding their creatures back, stalling them a little bit. Yeah, if I didn't know this deck was good, I'd be tilting more, because I'd be like, oh, I can't get good data with games like this, but I think the deck's pretty good. Ugh. Alright. Thank you, Charming Prince, for at least dispensing of those. That's gotta be almost curtains. We'll see. Doomblade is such a funny sideboard card, but, I mean, it's working. Often these control decks have a really hard time killing Yorion, because it doesn't die to 3 damage spells. Our opponent is not suffering from that problem. Alright, we are dead to Spikefield Hazard now. You have the Spikefield Hazard. Do they actually play multiple Spikefield Hazards? Boy, that doesn't seem good at all, but you got me. Since I last played, you mean 5 months ago, Geneticist? I mean, a lot. Restoration Angel probably stands out. I think we also got Ephemerate, right? Didn't we just get Ephemerate recently? So like the entire deck sort of hinges on those 2 cards. Oh yeah, basic lands. Alright, we'll fix the basic lands and see if that helps with the luck a little bit. And see if we can stop playing against these stupid control decks. It seems plausible that control decks have learned to beat humans, at which point I'm going to need to find a new deck to play, because I'm here to beat up on the humans people. I don't know if we have puppy planes. I'm just going to pick some of my normal basics that I like. Here, let's do the normal good ones. Just stay classy. No need to be fancy. And here, let's, for good luck, let's craft Ephemerate. Ooh, that's fancy. Oh wait, I already have it crafted. What am I talking about? Oh. Are we gonna get Japanese Ephemerate? It looks hella cool. Ranger Captain's also new. Oh, Ephemerate came with Strixhaven. Ranger Captain of Eos is new. Ranger Captain's also good, it turns out. Yeah, alright. Well, we're gonna spruce things up a little bit and we're gonna have better luck. This always works. Anything else here? We got Spruced Up Giant Killer. Wall of Blossoms. I love this card. This card is... I don't even remember when this card came in. Probably a while ago, actually. It definitely came in a while ago, but it's also super important to the deck. Alright. Prosperous Innkeeper, of course, should be crafted. Prosperous Innkeeper is just an incredibly sick 2-drop. Easy heir to the Innkeeper throne. We're not going to craft any Mythics right now, though. That's enough for now. That's enough for now. Let's see if the luck pulls in. Durglord. The weekend I was playing that artifact deck with Affinity. You mean like on ladder? Because the last time I played any deck I called Affinity was years ago, but I did test some Thought Monitor decks briefly. That deck was not good. I would not recommend it. It's funny. The artifact package in Historic is like... feels like it should be good enough, but it somehow isn't. There's just like a lot of weird tension. We're also up against this. Is this Huey William Jensen? I forget if Huey actually goes by Huey on Arena, but we might be up against one of the best of all time here, which is, you know, that's the kind of testing we want. Is Huey on Jund something or other? Alright, not on Jund. Alright, do I start with Innkeeper or Wall of Blossoms here? I think it's just Innkeeper. Lets me cast a turn 3 Chariot if I end up wanting to do that. So what does Fabled Passage mean, exactly? So this looks like Archmage's Charm. Do I run Chariot into that? I think the threat of Archmage's Charm makes me not want to burn a treasure. I will go ahead and cast Ranger Captain of Eos. See how Huey feels about that one. That's what I thought. Sure. Okay. Okay, so Shark Typhoon out of any control deck playing blue is a thing you always want to be thinking about. So I think before I attack, I will now try for Chariot, see what happens. Sure. Okay, no more Shark Typhoons. Not going to play Selfless Savior out here. I don't think it's worth burning the treasure for that. Maybe it is. Actually, maybe it is. It's not a bad thing to have a little bit of a clock going. And... okay. Huey did not like that one. Oh, I can believe it, man, leggings. I can believe it's pretty much out of the meta, but you never know when someone's playing something a little unusual. So Archmage's Charms, this makes me wonder if it's a Phoenix deck or like a Delver deck or just like a bluish reddish control deck. Smoldering Egg, okay. This is not a card we have that much trouble against some of the time because of Skyclave Apparition being a 4 of and also Ranger Captain being a 4 of with Giant Killer to go get, but I do need to find one of those things. Okay, that was one of those things, technically. So did I just put Yorion into hand here? I think I do. I'm a little bit worried about Wall of Blossoms just getting killed, but I feel like it's really unlikely that they have a removal spell that specifically kills Wall of Blossoms. Although, if they do discard a creature and have Unholy Heat for Wall of Blossoms, I'm going to feel really sad about that. Okay, no creature in the yard, no Delirium yet. Ox of Agonis. Okay, so they are just doing, like, Phoenix-adjacent things. That's fine. Okay. So this turn... Yeah, this turn just looks like Yorion and then Blink the Innkeeper, make a treasure, hold up Ephemerate. And hope they don't have... So now they have Delirium. So we're going to hope they don't have, like, Unholy Heat plus Counterspell for next turn. Smoldering Egg has sometimes meant Epiphany in Historic when I've seen it, but this does not look like an Epiphany deck. If this is an Epiphany deck, then I've been fooled. This is a good position, but not dominant yet. Once we have 2 Ephemerates up at the same time, I'm going to feel much safer. Hey, Bottle Brush! Glad to see you too. Second Smoldering Egg is okay. Third Smoldering Egg is okay. Well, this will be interesting. Tolsimir, Friend of Wolves would be great at killing these eggs if they didn't have the Ox, and I could just attack with Innkeeper and get Huey to block with an Innkeeper and then kill an egg. I'd be really happy about that. Actually, never mind. I know what I'm doing. The Friend of Wolves is here. We're going to kill the Ox, and then I'm going to attack with Yorion Innkeeper, and then we're going to blink. Yeah, this looks nice. This looks nice. I like this. Let's see if we can eat an egg this way. Cool. Love to see it. Double block with egg. Sure. Alright, well we're going to try for this then. Tolsimir could die, but if Huey tries to kill Tolsimir, we can also Ephemerate that. Having 2 Ephemerates up is really, really, really good in this position. Okay, looks like Huey might just not have had anything, which is phenomenal news. Opt, yep. So, digging hard for Unholy Heat, I would imagine. Rats Arena, no. Teleportation Circle is horrible. Unfortunately, it's not even standard playable. You just can't afford to spend 4 mana in Historic and literally not do anything. It's a fun, sweet card. It's a nice inheritor to the Thassa Legacy, but it's really bad at the same time. I will definitely be exploring Teleportation Circle in Standard next season, or after Epiphany is banned, probably, but definitely not net right now. Okay, so we're hard chillin'. Huey is trying to flip these eggs, but it does take a lot of mana. There's like a part of me that wants to jam Ephemerate right now. If we jam Ephemerate on Yorion right now, we get to bring out everything again. Is that good? I strongly doubt it's Epiphany next turn. If it is Epiphany next turn, I mean we're kind of toast no matter what. Could be Epiphany in their deck, I don't know. I think I pass. Thanks for the context, Miles. You'd attack Hashi's Phoenix list, so yeah. Epiphany and Phoenix just doesn't make any sense. You can't be playing 7 mana sorceries with that card. I would think other people in the ladder might. I don't think Huey would ever let himself do that. Frost, yeah, people play quite a bit of Epiphany in Historic. It's not good. It's not really very good, but people do play a lot of it. A lot of people, I think, you know, as with many format transitions, people will just take whatever deck they're playing in Standard and try a version of it in another format, and sometimes it works and sometimes it really doesn't. My experience has been that Epiphany has seemed really awful, when I played against it. Like, it's too slow to even play against this, you know, very slow mid-range deck that I'm playing. Yeah, we're still not guaranteed to win this by any means. The fact that I can kill one of the dragons with Giant Killer is really nice. It also seems like Huey is just riding the struggle bus here a little bit. Now, what am I rebounding onto? That's an interesting question. I kind of do want to be clocking with Yorion here a bit. I think we just go for Wall of Blossoms here. I want to be attacking with everything here, if I can. Flying MTG, I wouldn't doubt it. That sounds like the kind of thing that might have happened. Second Yorion, okay, it's not bad. Could use some more land drops, but I'm still pretty happy with how things are going. Alright, and we are definitely going to let Huey go ahead and make the first move here. Here I come. Okay, so here we're going to start with Actually, do I start with Innkeeper? I think I do start with Innkeeper here. Yeah. Getting a little more life is nice, you know. And then we'll go Resto. We've got Resto plus Ephemerate, so Huey needs to have, like, Archmage's Charm and Unholy Heat here. Now the question is, do I go off on Yorion, in which case Unholy Heat plus Archmage's Charm kind of gets me, or do I go off on Tulsimir, which is, like, a little more secure, maybe? I think we just go for the big one. If Huey does have Heat plus Charm, I'm a little sad, for sure. But it has to be exactly Heat plus Charm. Nope, that one's not going to do it. Okay, so maybe he's going to go... Okay, so Huey's going to see about drawing some cards and then wiping out a bunch of my board in response to this. Oh, he drew the Heat, okay. Flip the egg. Alright, well, before he flips the other one, we're going to try and go ahead and do this. I guess in theory we just go on Resto, right? We just go on Resto, because it's an extra point of life if it works. If Huey drew another Heat, we're toast, but it looks like Huey did not draw another Heat, fortunately. Only 2 of them in the top 27 cards, so yeah. Definitely we could have gotten barbecued here by the triple Smoldering Egg, but now instead I think we're in great shape. So Yorion comes in, we get to blink everything, and that should be curtains for Huey. Okay. Blink Yorion again, of course. Manually doing this just because it's Huey. I wanna, you know, play carefully. Show a little bit of respect. Okay, Dead Dragon, and then we're just gonna Giant Killer the other one right now before Huey can start using it, just to be extra safe. Cool. Let me do this again. Yeah, Restoration Angel just really turbocharges your Yorion turns to the point where it's like very, very easy to get to an unrecoverable state, even against other decks that can, like Huey's, generate some value. Okay. So, one of the tricky things about these kind of Phoenix-y type decks is that they have the ability to kind of not care about their graveyard post-board, and it's always hard to predict what they're going to do to that end. I still think I want the Rest in Pieces, but it's tough. Yeah, so Tulsimir's, you know, by itself can't kill much, but can, you know, mow down some Phoenixes, gain a bit of life, works against, you know, making it hard for Smoldering Eggs to block. I still think it's a little too expensive and clunky to make sense here. Question is, what am I actually doing? Three-Headed Inspector is kind of useless. We cut that every time. We cut Blade Splicers. They don't attack through eggs very well, and they get hammered down by Sweltering Suns, which I expect you to have, or Anger the Gods, or something like that. Skyclades are great at killing eggs and phoenixes. Those definitely stay. I could just bring in 3 Rest in Peace, call it a day. I don't think I love Spellbinder here. Makes their turns a little clunkier, but it just dies so easily to everything they have, and isn't that good at contesting phoenixes in the air. And I think I just try this. See how this feels, figure out what their sideboard plan looks like, and then proceed from there. Yeah, Griffin, we saw them discard. We saw them discard at Darcy, and also it's the best creature in Historic probably, so I'm not surprised they play a bunch of copies, but frequently decks will board out Dragon's Rage Channeler against us. Okay, we'll keep this. Gonna dump. This might also be a Llanowar Elves out matchup. It's hard to say. They don't have... It kind of depends on how many sweepers they have. This is definitely Llanowar Elves out hand. We can't cast on turn 1, and we want all of our cards to provide value. Okay, they kept in Dragon's Rage Chandler. So it could be that we'll end up going with a Portable Hole. Yeah. Definitely unclear what their configuration here looks like. So mill and opt into the yard. If they can discard a land creature, we're going to be in a lot of trouble against the Darcy. Yeah, maybe just bring in Portal Holes for... Yeah, when we're on the play, Darcy is almost never a concern. But yeah, given they have Smoldering Eggs too, and I'm guessing Huey's going to keep all the eggs, and I should just have Portal Holes in. It was silly not to bring them in. This is great. It's been a while. All right. Yep. Huey just going for the instant instant smash me in the face. I'm gonna go farmhand here just because I definitely need a third land to be competitive in the game. That might not be enough. If Huey brings back like a Phoenix next turn, we're toast. But if Huey doesn't bring back a Phoenix next turn, Ranger Captain of Eos can maybe stop that from happening, which is nice. Like, you can sack in response to the first spell, maybe stop the other ones from going off. This gets Archmage's Charmed, that's fine. Great, love seeing that go toward this instead of just drawing 2 cards. If I were Huey here, I honestly might just go for draw 2 cards. Obviously, I don't know what his hand looks like, but... like, I guess that thing being in play is annoying enough that maybe that's not what you're supposed to do. Okay. So the question is here, do I try and hold up Restoration Angel for my own turn, or do I go for, like, Ranger Captain now? I think the answer is to just hold up Restoration Angel. Now, it's very likely that Huey ends up having an Unholy Heat, but it's also possible that Huey goes for a, you know, the Restoration Angel lets us maybe stop Huey from going and getting a Phoenix before combat, because it's really hard to do that, and also... Alright. At the very least, we get a land off of this, which is nice. It's going to die to Unholy Heap. That's fine. It's a 1-for-1. We get another land. Ambitious Farmhand can get Lifelink later. Maybe. We're still not at all favored in this game, because turn 1 Darcy, turn 2 Flip Darcy is rough, but we got chances. We also got more Restos. We got main deck Yorions we could draw. A lot of options. Okay, do I start with Wall of Blossoms or Ranger Captain? I think it's Ranger Captain still, because this can still stop Phoenixes from kind of the yard, which is really key. Okay. Alright, now we're just gonna slam Wall. Pray we can find a Skyclave Apparition, flip this farmhand around and get some work done. Charming Prince is also not bad. That's a lot of life. Charming Prince is actually great, and Phoenix not coming to yard is fantastic. Okay. So now we're going to go farmland. We're going to go with... Okay, this is going to be a little tricky. We're going to go with full control, play Prince. And I think I try flipping around the farmhand. I'm going to exile Wall of Blossoms, and in response to this ability, I'm going to try flipping the farmhand while we still have Coven. Now, there's every chance this just dies to Unholy Heat, but if it doesn't, that would be Pog. Okay. It's probably dying to Unholy Heat on attacks, but that's fine. The real question is now, do I try blinking the Cathar? No, I mean I could try blinking the Prince to save the stuff. The basic question is, do I gain 3 life here and be able to survive 1 Phoenix coming out, or do I just go ahead and say, screw that, I'm going to try and keep the Cathar alive? The problem is I'm dead to hardcast Phoenix. Now I'm going to make Huey use the Dragon's Rage Channel here first, of course. Surveils the land. That's not very informative. I think the play to win line is just to blink the Prince and pray Huey doesn't have a Phoenix. Well, he could have had a Phoenix in hand the whole time, honestly, and there's perfectly a reason he wouldn't have played it this turn. I guess I'm getting the... Alright, well, first things first, let's see if this resolves. If Huey has a third Unholy Heat, then I'll just go ahead and die. I guess this also plays into, like, play with fire. Okay, Archmage's Charm. Alright, well, Huey kept a card on top, which is not good news for me, but... Alright, Tolsimir could get us through this, if we survive the turn, which it's unlikely we do against Expressive Iteration. Very unlikely. Alright, Huey did keep in eggs. We're definitely going to get 1 or 2 portable holes. Not sure we want all 3. Maybe we want all 3. Alright, we're dead to any spell besides the Unholy Heat. Maybe, if Huey doesn't have another spell here, Tolsimir could get us back into this. Huey did have another spell, we're dead. Okay. Yeah, Unholy Heat is definitely another card that I really don't understand the bring in Dragon's Rage Channel and Unholy Heat. I think Phoenix was a perfectly fine deck before those things happened. Of course, if we'd ever done a Rest in Peace there, we would have been in incredible shape. So we definitely want to keep Rest in Pieces. The question is, what do we cut for Portable Hole? Giant Killer is nice against the dragons, but Portable Hole also kills dragons. It's possible I want to cut some Ranger Captains. No, Ranger Captain still seems pretty good, honestly. Chariot might be a little slow against Unholy Heat. Tolsimir also... Maybe it's just Tolsimir, actually. Portable Hole just basically does the same thing as Tolsimir. Question is, do I do the third Portable Hole or not? I don't think so. I think we have enough removal now. Yeah, the thing about Tolsimir is if you just Unholy Heat the Tolsimir... GK seems really clunky against this deck. What is GK? Man's Leggings? Can't keep track of all these fancy acronyms. Giant Killer. It's not that clumsy against the dragon. It's basically you just get it for free. The getting it for free part is where I'm really interested. And yeah, because it'll all be in eventually. I just feel like Unholy Heat maybe came in a little early compared to some of the other stuff. Alright, so the cards we're looking for right now, of course, are lands. Rest in Peace would be outstanding. I'm going to play Wall of Blossoms over Innkeeper here because just hitting land drops is the most important thing to be competitive in this game. If I can hit a land and cast Ranger Captain next turn, that would be good. We don't know they boarded out Ox Gyarados. They only saw probably less than half their deck last game, and they, I think, only would play 1 or 2 copies of Ox. Smoldering Egg comes down, sure. That one's fine. Rest in Peace. Alright. And I'm just going to cast this before it can get Archmage's Charmed. That's great. That helps a lot. Ranger Captain also providing an answer to Smoldering Egg is nice. Now, Expressive Iteration, of course, is still busted, but Expressive Iteration is actually kind of nice because it means I get to resolve Ranger Captain of Yos, which is extremely good. Now, the thing that would really bring this whole deck together, I think, would be if they printed a modal double-faced card that was just like a 1/1 for 1, and then also a land, so that Ranger Captain of Yos could get lands. That would be great. Oh, Huey missed his third land drop. Okay, that's gonna be curtains for Huey, I think. So what do I do now? I think I start with... Do I just Ephemerate Wall of Blossoms here? I really want to hit a land. Yeah, I think I Ephemerate Wall of Blossoms. I guess I could play... No, I want to... Ideally what I'm doing is Ephemerate Wall of Blossoms. Hit a land. Like, I could cast Ranger Captain, but it's not that impressive a turn if I'm not also hitting land drops to go with it. Monka. Okay, well, cast Innkeeper, it's at least another mana source. And we'll chill. Dragon's Rage Channeler is nice for the Surveils, but is a 1/1 forever, which is great. I would be surprised if Huey had something like Brazen Borrower in at this point. And it's quite likely that, given the number of cards we're about to draw, we are going to be able to, get rid of this egg even before it flips. We just have so many ways to do that now. One thing you want to be careful of in this deck is noticing when it might be time to just blink your Innkeeper if you desperately need extra mana for that turn. It's possible with Yorion in my hand that was even the right play right now. I kind of don't think so, but yep, we are whiffing on lands, so now I do feel pretty awkward about the whole thing. I'm going to play another Wall of Blossoms. Just try and hit lands here. But it's possible the right play there was just Ephemerate the Innkeeper, no muss, no fuss. Okay. I'll play Charming Prince here. We're going to blink the Innkeeper. Because I desperately need to get to the 5 mana for next turn. And they don't have mana ups, they can't kill it. Selfless Saber would stop them from killing it anyway, but... yeah, so gain a bunch of life. Yeah, the fancy Ephemerates are great. Definitely a good investment in the fancy Ephemerates. Well, Huey and I are now playing a fair game of Magic, because we're both stuck on 3 lands. I've actually drawn... yeah, I've drawn... okay, I have not drawn more cards than Huey, to be fair. But Huey also plays fewer lands, to be fair. Okay, Huey is now tapped off of Archmage's Charm, because that Lava Glide pathway can't make blue mana. Of course, Huey could have Mystical Dispute. So we gotta watch out for that one. Darn it. I do sometimes consider playing fewer than 4 Ranger Captive Eos for situations like this, but of course, you really are supposed to draw... I don't know. Fewer copies than this most of the time is ideal. Alright, I'm okay taking Huey's Surveil Source off the board. And I think I just pass with Restoration Angel up, honestly. This game should be very hard to lose as long as I don't screw something up. That's funny. Alright, and if Huey goes for, like, I don't know, some fancy thing to flip the egg now, we've got Giant Killer for it. I don't know. I'm slightly concerned. I'm slightly concerned about the current state of affairs. Anger of the Gods. Alright, so we're going to flip the egg. Resolves. I'm going to Giant Killer the egg. Huey can respond to this with an opt or consider and kill my Wall of Blossoms, but that's fine. Ah, okay, kills all the stuff. Okay, well, we're playing a game of Magic now. We're definitely playing a game of Magic now, but at some point I am going to start drawing lands, and Huey's just going to fold over and die. Okay. That's more like it. In fact, look, I'm going to draw another land off of that. Alright, now if Huey has a third egg, I'm going to be slightly annoyed, but I do still have 6 removal spells for egg in my deck. We're going to start finding them at some point. Okay, can't think of any flash creatures Huey would be running, so we'll go ahead and beat down. I think I just keep slamming Ranger Captains. At some point I could start like locking Huey out of casting spells, which would be fun. I think I actually pass here with Restoration Angel up. I think a Flyer's nice. Alright, we'll let Huey pass to his turn. We'll play Resto now, before Huey can get a third blue down for Archmage's Charm, as I imagine Huey probably has a non-zero number of Archmage's Charms in his hand at this point. So, because we drew both of our 1-drops kind of naturally, the Ranger Captains aren't doing much, but they're still doing something. And the capacity to like control when Huey can cast spells is still a good thing to have. Rat's Arena, there is a lot of graveyard hate in this format. Several of the best decks rely heavily on graveyards. Every single deck should be running a bunch of graveyard hate in sideboard. Yeah, situations like these where I used to have a second Giant Killer in my sideboard, I could still see going back to that at some point. What is the best deck in the format, Rat's Arena? I don't know. I think there's not even really a consensus on what's supposed to be the best deck. The competitors for that would be Blue-Red Phoenix, Jund, and probably Jeskai, in my opinion. But other people might have other opinions. Alright, do I just go for Ranger Captain again, or is this the turn I jam Yorion? The thing I'm worried about is Mystical Dispute. Yeah, I think I'll just keep captaining. And then at some point I guess just start triggering this on Huey's upkeep, which is, of course, great. You've even drawn a natural Llanowar Elves. This is tough. Actually, I think we might be full Llanowar Elves beatdown here. I think we might just be full Llanowar Elves beatdown here with Ranger Captains just sacrificing until Huey is dead. Do I sack the treasure for the last Llanowar Elves? I can sack it for Giant Killer, actually. That seems great. Yeah, let's do that. And we can just, like, stop the egg from blocking, so this is, like, extra damage, which is nice. Honestly, I'm pretty hilarious. I find this pretty funny. Yeah, I don't think humans are the best deck. Humans just seem full of weaknesses whenever I see them, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, Huey still doesn't have Charm up. One fun thing I could do would be to stop Huey from countering Yorion. Do I want to do that this turn? Pretty sure I tap Egg. And then we'll see if Huey, like, goes for an Unholy Heat or something at some point. That could also affect matters. Are there many counter spells in the format? Not anymore, Rats Arena. You know, blue decks will still play some, but with memory lapse out of the format, it's not as omnipresent a thing as it used to be. Honestly, my best way to lock out Huey is probably just to play another Ranger Captain. And unfortunately, I am out of things. Yes, I'm out of things. Okay. And why not? Fourth Llanowar Elves. Okay, now we just have to hope Huey doesn't run a Flame Sweep. Mm-hmm. Or I guess Random Abrade on Ranger Captain could also have been very scary. Portable's funny. I don't even think I want to cast it, though. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Ether Vial would certainly be interesting. I'd be curious to see how that one would do in Historic. I honestly wonder. There's a lot of artifact removal in this format already. Now, should I be trying to figure out how to turn on sub notifications? I don't know why they're not running at the moment. Yeah, it should be running. Well, if somebody wants to follow so I can actually see for sure if it's working, that would be nice of you. Wait, what? Arena!
To become
oh.
Aaron Girdler tonight, chat.
Hey, it's working. At least it's working for me. Thanks so much, Luca and Cage, for the follow, and Team as 5 as well.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat.
Right, I don't know what just happened to Arena. Arena got mad at me. Did I click Exit instead of Mastery by mistake? I don't know. Dash Mania, I'm glad you're enjoying the deck. Yeah, no, it's really fun. And it's not too good. It's definitely not too good. It's barely good enough, and there are definitely ways to easily beat it if you want to. Wow, people play Baral in Historic Brawl. I guess that does make sense, Opkus. Rats Arena, the combo with Perpetual got revised out of existence weeks ago. Weeks ago? I guess it was this week, actually. Time flies in Magic. I don't know, Briblek. Maybe you too can rank in the coveted position of 1140 on the Mythic Constructed Ladder. Very coveted. Yeah, Daphmania, Restoration Angel is one of my favorite creatures in the game. Sadly, Thragtusk isn't really playable in Historic, I don't think, but love Resto. Alright, yep. One of those hands where we desperately need to draw lands. I'm currently on 34 lands in this deck, including the modal level face cards. I often think about going to 35 just because, gosh, I see a lot of hands like this where I'm just like, desperately need something to work out. Okay, so is this going to be Prosperous Innkeeper or Wall of Blossoms? I think just Wall. Again, just like emphasizing the ability to actually hit literal land drops. There we go. Dason, no. No, I played one match of Team Clover in Historic against humans. My opponent cast turn 1 Esper Sentinel. I lost the game immediately. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. And then they also, the turn after that, cast Thalia. And I realized, oh wow, no, this doesn't work anymore at all. Hey, good job, Bendro. Yeah, if you're playing against Relentless Human decks, this deck will stomp them flat. And Frostbite, are you asking me if this deck is good against Coco decks? Because yes, I think this deck is very good against Coco decks. At least humans and merfolk. Jund Citadel Company, no. Jund Citadel Company is very scary. This deck is bad against combo company decks, I guess. I also found Scurry Oak combo to be a little rough. But the most common company decks, you can kind of clown them. Play with fire to the face. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, so a little down on lands here. Second Chariot, but this is fine. Let me start getting our life in drips and drabs. Self the Savior is actually just really good. Maybe I do want more than one of this card. I love this card every time I draw it. No, there's not a mutate deck. Mad Leggings is just being silly. The best decks in Historic, I should probably just make a command for this, huh? The best decks in Historic in some order are probably Jund, Jeskai, Humans. No, Jund, Jeskai, Phoenix, I don't think Humans is that great, right? I gotta pick a story and stick to it. Alright, opponent has given up on trying to kill my creatures thanks to Selfless Savior. Okay, Chandra's Incinerator is actually pretty good, except for I have Giant Killer in my hand. That would have been really good, opponent. It was almost really good. I'm like kind of proud of you for it, but alright, so they get to Wizard's Lightning me in the face, which means that they get to also send damage at something else here. Skyclave Apparition will go ahead and rescue that one. Goodbye, Wall of Blossoms. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, Soulscar Mage. Alright, chat, I'm an idiot. Alright, forgot about Soulscar Mage, chat. Alright, we'll punt. Man, I was so excited about this dog, too. Oh well. Okay, well, next turn I get to play Chariot, hopefully with a Prosperous Innkeeper in play still, but this is kind of scary just because I've drawn, you know, exactly 3 lands and 4 of my... how many spells do I have in this deck that cost? I think I have 9... No, 12. I have 12 spells that cost 4 more, so it's an expensive deck. Great, okay. This is fine, though. This is fine. Alright. Went a while without, like, a super obvious punt, which is cool. This is also pretty cool. Love lands. Love chariots. Love all this stuff. I'm going to be going after opponent's face as well. Definitely not blocking with the Innkeeper yet, and they gave up. Cool. Why no attack last turn, Rats Arena? Oh, I probably just wasn't paying attention to it. Okay, so Portable Hole, yep. Yashar? No, Chariot still seems better. What am I cutting? Might still be Chariot, just because it's expensive and doesn't gain me any life. Thraben Inspector actually gets in the way, but any matchup where the clue is like too slow to realistically crack, I think I like cutting that. Selfless Savior is awkward against Soulscar Mage, but like generally fine, I think. Farmhand being able to get lifelink's nice. Maybe it's just the Yorions in the main deck? Is that crazy? It's like I kind of don't need to resolve these if I'm just like casting other spells. I don't know. Ray, the historic challenge is it's a qualifier, I guess, not a challenge, but maybe they call it challenges, I don't know. But it's this coming weekend. I was supposed to be testing a lot of good decks for it. Instead, I fell in love with this one. I'm only testing this, which is you're welcome to call that Aaron Gertler syndrome if you want. I think I just cut some Yorions because they're expensive. Hard to tell. Alpine Express, by the way, thanks for the follow. Yeah, our deck should be incredibly well set up against mono red. The thing you want to prepare against is like, what are the things they could do that could theoretically, get us if we're not careful. And the easiest thing to think of is, we want to make sure we have answers to Incinerator, because that creature is actually big enough that we can't block it very easily. They have 2 consecutive weekends? Ooh, I didn't even know that. I should be looking this kind of stuff up more. Alright, so Innkeeper's great. Innkeeper's going to guarantee turn 3 Chariot, which is also gas. And we even have Ephemerate to save it if we want to, which I might... Honestly, if they try to kill Innkeeper, I might just Ephemerate it. We'll see. Okay, not happening. Now the question is, do I save Rest to go for Chariot? I'll just go for Chariot. Chariot with Innkeeper in play is incredible. Yeah, they just don't have any burn. I guess their hand is full of Incinerators. Whatever, I'm into it. Oh, Rekindling Phoenix. That... I guess that's the sideboard card they bring in for decks they feel are controlling, but... Holy cow, is it not a good choice against us? Holy cow. Yeah, no, sorry. That's not happening. Okay. Alright, well, one thing about this deck that makes me sad is that I am going to have to wake up at 6 a.m. to play it, because I definitely want to jump into at the beginning of the open while the aggro decks are around. This is definitely one of those decks. Unlike the mono blue deck I played in Standard, where I was happy to wait for a while and play the control decks. Yeah, Esika's Chariot still is very much a historic power level card. It's a real good one. Maybe this should be my last match for a little bit with the Green White Blink deck, and I should like actually play a couple of the other decks I think might be good. I really like Red White Tempered Steel. Red White Tempered Steel is my second favorite deck that I have kind of cobbled together. Ripax, what are you doing with Chariot and Historic? I feel like there are multiple shells it could work pretty well in. Wow, this is like such a loyal dog. It just always shows up in the opener. Yeah, whenever I get these 2 land hands, there's always a part of me that just wants to say, like, I want to cut Land Elves from the deck, put in, like, 2 more lands, and 2 more good spells, and just be a turn 2 deck. Like, Land Elves is, like, just on the cusp of, it's good, but also is it good enough? Yay, it's humans. Alright, that's great if I hit lands. So, this turn's tricky. Like, I could have gone Charming Prince, which technically with Scry 2 has a better chance to hit lands than Wall Blossoms does, but...
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat.
It's close, honestly. It's honestly really close. Hanweir Militia Captain. Yikes. That, by yikes, I mean that card doesn't seem very good at all. I'm going to take this Esper Sentinel so that if I get a land next turn for Chariot, they don't get to draw a card off of it. Yeah, Jofu. Humans is probably the single most popular deck on ladder. All the different Phoenix decks put together might be as popular as Humans. Yeah, Dason, I did build Lotus Cobra Ramp. It's not great. I don't think it's actually very powerful. Alright, so this is going to look like, I think, just Ephemerate on the wall. Ephemerate's a little awkward against Esper Sentinel coming down for sure next turn, but it's not like I can sit here and not draw lands. We already need to draw some lands. Should we Prince first? Yeah, we had the option to cast Prince, Scry, and then Ephemerate the wall after that. It's kind of tricky because if I draw Llanowar Elves, I kind of now want to play Llanowar Elves and Selfless Savior instead. Yeah, now that I can't draw the land anymore. Yeah, it's possible that Prince first was right, because if I draw a land, I can then cast Selfless Savior. This play it line opens us up to drawing Llanowar Elves, and if we just draw a land anyway, I guess if I draw land anyway, I'm just going to be playing Prince this turn, so yeah, this might have been wrong. Yeah, Jason, this is much better than Esper Yorion. Esper Yorion just gets trashed by humans, I found. The interaction it has just doesn't line up that well with the format anymore. Esper Sentinel, for example, is a terrifying nightmare. It's like, nice omen of the sea, idiot. Okay, so the question is, are we going to let them draw off the Sentinel? I don't think so. Valley's Lieutenant's a little scary. A little scary. Alright, well, we'll take our medicine here. And we're going to go for... Yeah, I think we have to let them draw the card. I don't think I can afford to spend 2 mana this turn turning off the Sentinel. Which is a little unfortunate, but whatever. You can have it. So if I could just draw a land naturally this turn and play Yorion, that's what I'll do. If I don't draw a land, I probably just play Restoration Angel and take out the Militia Captain before it flips. I don't really want to see Westvale Cult Leader be around. Okay, good. Alright, once we have Yorion down, everything gets a lot easier, especially with Selfless Savior protected from Giant Killer. I don't think I've seen a single Ashiok 3 in the format, Jason, but if you do want to beat Sultai Ultimatum, Ashiok 3 seems like a pretty good way to do it. Alright, so we do take out the Militia Captain because it's going to flip. It flips off any creatures, not just humans. Okay, they're just done. That makes sense. This is a good time to be done. Yeah, it's easy to attack against them, but you have to actually work at it, and white and green don't have amazing tools for it. We have Ranger Captain of Eos, which is good enough, I think. Anyway, against humans, we just bring in some portable holes, and we cut 3-bit Inspector, we cut... on the draw, I like cutting a Chariot, just because it's awkward against Esper Sentinel and really awkward against Thalia. Like, you really don't want to be stuck with, like, 2 Chariots in your hand against Thalia. That's one of the ways you can actually lose what is otherwise a really good matchup. And I could see cutting another Chariot or just cutting the Farmhand, because Farmhand's just kind of weak. Probably just the Farmhand. It's close. Could go either way. MW1832, probably about a dozen. I haven't really been counting. Probably about a dozen. Miss Pseudo Raccoon, thanks for the follow. Oh, we should be gambling, by the way. Chat, someone has to remind me to gamble. I love gambling. To turn that on after this match. I was gonna say after this game, but you know, we'll just end the match this game. Sure, this is the kind of hand that where Esika's Chariot makes me really nervous. Okay, good. We dodged turn 1 Sentinel, which was the most important thing. And now with Portable Hole into Ranger Captain into Chariot, we should be in pretty good shape. Yep, this is also the kind of hand that makes me, like, really, you know, happy that I have Llanowar Elves as an option to draw. Naked Thalia's Lieutenant, sure. Alright, and Sun Petal Grove is untapped. Yeah, I'm just going to Portable Hold the Thalia's Lieutenant. It's a little bit, you know, mediocre as far as, like, not exciting, but, you know, slow their development. That's all you gotta do. We play our spells, we just win the game. Militia Captain again. And, oh, missing land drops. Already humans deck. Sad. Alright, what do I pick up here? So I would like to cast Chariot next turn. The only reason I see myself not casting Chariot next turn is if they Thalia or Spellbinder to get out of my hand. So if that happens, what would I want to be doing with my next turn? Probably just Charming Prince, blinking this thing, and then casting Llanowar Elves? I'm going to stick Llanowar Elves here. So I will eventually want a Giant Killer, so in case this thing flips, or in case they have a bunch of Thalia's Lieutenants or whatever, we can kill something, but for now, they're moving slowly, I'm happy to just develop things. Tamzel, I mean, you can play both if you want to. I just feel like the games where Militia Captain is good are probably the games you're winning already. This phrase "win more" is, you know, pretty applicable here, I think. Like, if you have 4 creatures on your upkeep and you're like going in and you're a deck with a bunch of Values Lieutenants in, I think you're going to be fine almost no matter what happens. Alright, so is this Chariot, or is there any world where I want to like Ranger Captain? I think we just Chariot. It just like lets us start accruing actual advantage on board, which is nice, and of... I mean, if we survive to accrue it, we get to blink it like twice, which is going to be game over. Alright, Skyclave Apparition is the play that makes me a little sad, but that's fine. As soon as I find my own Skyclave Apparition, our opponent is going to be in trouble. If they have a 1-drop... Okay, they're portable. That's great. Not even true. Oh, never mind. Not good, not good, not good. Abort, abort! Alright, well this could be scary. They've lined up into us pretty well here. And we're drawing a lot of Ephemerates that really don't help if we don't have something good to actually Ephemerate on the board. Interesting. Okay. So, I think I like Ranger Captain into Charming Prince Scry. This is going to be a tough game here. This time I'm going to pick Giant Killer. And then I need Charming Prince to go get me something like a Skyclave Apparition or a Blade Splicer. Not another Charming Prince, not a land. Alright, so they get to flip this thing, and now it's big and scary, but we do get to kill it almost immediately, hopefully. If they like Coco this turn, we could easily get completely wrecked by a Coco. Yep. Okay. Yeah, this was tough. This was tough. Yeah, the Ranger Captains just aren't amazing in the matchup, but it's hard to think of 1-drops you can pick up that are really very good. Selfless Glyph Weaver, okay. That's a good one to keep in mind. Creatures gain indestructible till end of turn. So that can protect the Cult Leader, which is sad. Yeah, we're looking pretty overwhelmingly dead here to the... They have 2 removal creatures and we have no Skyclave Apparitions. Play. I don't think we block. I think the Cult Leader just gets bigger next turn. And I don't want to be trading losing 2/2s to it when my 2/2s can block their 1/1s and 2/2s. Alright, if I can get a Skyclave Apparition, we're in business. I could not. We were not. Alright, well. I doubt this is going to be allowed, but we'll try it. We'll persist for like another turn and see, you know, what happens. There might still be draws that could get me into this, but active Cult Leader with Athalia's Lieutenant against the Coco deck just makes things tough. Okay, at least Elite Spellbinder doesn't do anything. Sort of. Yeah, it really has to be like Skyclave Apparition for me here, would have to be the thing. These are Ephemerate Stason. Does the extension not actually function for these? Handweir's on Innistrad. Who wants some? Thalia's Lieutenant wants some. Okay, I would be extremely contented to triple block a Thalia's Lieutenant in this position. Good stuff, Jasmox. What have you been playing? They want to attack with Thalia. I'm also super into that. That sounds great. Alright, do this. Do I triple block the Lieutenant or just jump that Cult Leader? I actually think it looks like this. Yeah. I want to be able to basically survive if I can find a Selfless Skyclave Apparition. Nope. Alright, Ephemerate's cheap now, so we could still find Skyclave Apparition off of this. Nope. Alright, scoop here. That's cool, Jasmox. I'd be interested in seeing the list, although I of course understand if you'd rather not share it. Boy, Chariot looks really good if they don't Skyclave it. And even if they do Skyclave it and I can just kill their Skyclave, it's also amazing. Do I just want the 3rd Chariot back in? They did keep Thalia. Nah, I feel like we should be... I could cut a Ranger Captain. After that game, I'm kind of in a mood to cut a Ranger Captain, honestly. Maybe I want Farmhand back in? Meh. Let's just roll this. Thanks, Ripax. It's good to be streaming. Definitely responding to people out of order here, just wherever my eyes happen to land. Alright, let's beat this humans deck. So if we ever draw a Skyclave apparition, things look great. I am worried though, you know, there are ways we can die to Containment Priest or something.
We need to become
Quanta Ray, thanks for the follow.
That's the goal.
Mad Leggings, from a flavor perspective, I like Kaladesh a lot. I think optimistic worlds are nice. It's like a departure from the norm. And worlds where like invention and just like happiness are celebrated and everyone's having a good time. I dig that vibe. Damn it. So many one-landers with this deck. Alright. This I will keep. This looks very good. I am going to throw back Ranger Captain here, I think. That's tough. It could be Innkeeper is the correct thing to throw back. Yeah, Lord Smiggle, it's good to be here. Thanks so much. Murphy Andrew, do I get burnt out playing Arena? There are definitely times I don't feel like playing Magic because I'm not interested in the format or whatever. I don't know if I would call that burnout on Arena so much as just, you know, a Magic format's not interesting to me. Okay, so I think it's Ranger Captain or Innkeeper going back. Normally, if I'm mulliganing, I like throwing back Innkeepers because I just want all my cards to do stuff. I think that's still the case here. Ranger Captain getting Llanowar Elves just means that the mana from Innkeeper seems less important. And even to play Innkeeper, I have to lose 3 life to Amiri's Call immediately, which is kind of sad. But having no play until 3 is definitely dangerous against humans. Dyson, Faceless Agent you mentioned, and I didn't see it until then, but thanks for making a suggestion. Yeah, I don't think Faceless Agent seems very good. What does it even get in our deck? Does it get a human? I guess it gets a human or something? Thalia, alright, we're just going to start Ranger Captaining. Because I don't care nearly enough about Thalia to want to kill it yet. I'm just going to get Llanowar Elves here. We do need to be developing our mana. Eldraine is honest, yeah. Eldraine's like semi-happy, but like kind of dark at the same time. Spellbinder's lovely. It's like kind of difficult to pick. I guess you have to take Skyclave Apparition here and hope I don't hit a land. Probably. If I draw a 4th land, we're probably going to be in really good shape this game. If not, things get tough. Okay, they didn't take Skyclave Apparition. That's really good news, I think. Land? Yeah, baby. Alright. Time to put that promise to the test. So we're going to go ahead and Skyclave down the flyer, I think. Jollyfly Man, if this is the first stream of mine you've seen in some time, well, I streamed last weekend, but before that I took a long hiatus. Just had other stuff going on in my life that needed doing, but I'm now very happily back in action. Okay, I kind of expect them to have a Brutal Cathar or their own Skyclave Apparition to take this thing out, but that's fine. Ooh, Ranger Captain. Love that. Genuinely don't mind that at all. I just want the game to go nice and long. Yeah, I can't wait to return to Eldraine. Return to Eldraine on a slightly more reasonable power level with Adventure coming back is going to be so sweet. Genuinely really excited for that one. Alright, we did trade 3 damage for 2 that turn, but there was enough of a chance to just slam Thalia's Lieutenant this turn, and we weren't going to be blocking Thalia anyway. I don't really mind. Okay, so I think this just looks like... I think I might just continue to accumulate Llanowar Elves this here. Could also go for a... Selfless Savior doesn't help very much because the things I'm worried about are my opponent having exile removal. And... yeah, another thing I do, I could Portable Hole a Clue. That doesn't seem very good. I could put Yorion into my hand. It's a little vulnerable Spellbinder there, but like... I'll do this. If I draw a land next turn after getting Llanowar Elves here, I can just like slam Yorion, which is great. Although, frankly, Ranger Captain's alright here. Ranger Captain's like doing a nice job keeping us smoothly in the game. Okay, Giant Killer tapping stuff is mildly interesting. I think we just want mana still.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Yeah, another option, yeah, if it weren't for me needing to get to 8 mana to get to Yorion, finding Selfless Savior is always nice to be able to protect Yorion, but I think I just like putting my opponent under this kind of pressure. Endless Jake, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I mean, this is interesting, though. Like, our opponent's got 5 cards in hand. If they cast a Collected Company, and, you know, there are plenty of Collected Company combinations that absolutely blow us out here. So they could hit 2 Thalia's Lieutenants, they could hit, like, Thalia's Lieutenant Brutal Cathar, they could hit Skyclave Apparition. Alright, this is fine. This one's fine. Pretty good, but fine. But we are kind of getting ground out here. Yeah, we have a lot of like reasonable little 2-for-1s, but not much in the way of actual engine stuff going on. Okay, I am going to now be trading with Thalia? Do I get rid of their first striker, or do I get rid of just 1-for-1ing this thing and letting them have this? I can portable hole Thalia, but I probably want to portable hole the Aspirant. Yeah, I think we do this. Yeah, because if I don't draw the land for Yorion, there's a good chance my turn's going to be Restoration Angel Portable Hole. And I would like to be able to, cast both of those spells. Hola, Rumty. This is supposed to be our good matchup. It's been a bit of a struggle. Oh, we mulliganed this game. I was like, this feels like weird, and then I remembered we in fact did mulligan. Which makes everything a little trickier. I mean, all the worlds have been pretty gas lately. I like pretty much all of them. Alright. So do we actually Yorion this turn to get a 4/5 onto the battlefield and hopefully not get giant killered? Or do I just like chill, get resto down first? I think I want a portable hole before I Yorion. Portable hole getting rid of this 3/3 is kind of a big deal. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would love to see Abrupt Decay and Historic. That would be fun. I don't think it would shift anything that much, but it's a nice card. Alright, so we'll just snag this because it's free and we can blink the portable hole with Yorion next turn to get some other value. And then we just kind of sit on Restoration Angel, which makes it pretty annoying to attack into us with anything too substantial. Now, if our opponent has another Collected Company, and they've hit 2 of them in the top 15 cards, then, you know, we're probably in some trouble, but I am still feeling okay about our odds. Most things that are not Collected Company are super beatable here. Okay, yep. So, any removal creature they hit just gets ganked by Restoration Angel. 2 Thalia's Lieutenants is really good. Yep. This card I wouldn't mind getting rid of either. This card, I don't know, it feels like a very constrictive of what a creature deck can be. It just feels so difficult to play anything that's not Collected Company if you're doing anything with creatures. I mean, this should be our good matchup. It's just, if they have 2 company, they're just playing a better version of our deck a lot of the time, which is sad. Opponent going hard on Skyclave Apparition's interesting. Nuaz 2013. I don't even know how to answer that. Every format has its own charms. Okay, this attack is incredibly ambitious and makes me wonder if they remembered the Restoration Angel that I have. I mean, I guess we're still in trouble. Alright, so we do this. The real question is, can I even afford to blink Ranger Captain, or do I have to blink an elf? And I can't let an elf die. Yeah, Dason, that's not a bad list. Ride or die, it's never time for Esper Yorion. Historic Esper Yorion is unplayable in Historic. And will probably remain so until the end of time, or at least until we get, I don't know, Wall of Omens. Okay, so if I blink Llanowar Elves, we get to kill the Skyclave Apparition, double block Luminarch Aspirant. That still doesn't feel like quite enough. We blink Ranger Captain, we get another 1-drop, which is Giant Killer, but just kind of useless since I want to cast Yorion anyway. I think we got to start chipping down their board here, sadly. The Memory Lapse ban certainly did a lot in the Historic metagame. It made some decks less powerful by quite a bit. Alright, real question is, do I kill Aspirant, or do I... Yeah, I think I have to trade with Aspirant rather than killing Thraben Spectre and leaving Llanowar Elves alive. Really not easy to make these decisions, but I think it's important. I think this is all we can do here. Okay, go to 7, kill some stuff, get a 3/3. Hopefully they're out of companies for now. We drew the 4th Ranger Captain. Yeah, I think I'm going to go into like 3 copies of this card and put in a 3rd Blade Splicer. This card just like gets a lot less impressive every time. I mean, I do this turn get to go... I guess I can't put Yorion down anyway. So I guess this turn has to look like... Cast this, grab Giant Killer, chop down a Thalia's Lieutenant, cast Giant Killer, Ride or Die. It's just really hard to add a 3rd color, and Soul Herder is not an especially great card. It gets 1-for-1, and you don't really build this deck to get stuff 1-for-1. Okay, hopefully... Well, a lot of their cards are good here. A lot of their cards are not very good here. We might be close to stabilizing. But we could also be completely dead this turn. It's all going to depend on if they have another Thalia's Lieutenant, pretty much. I guess Hammer Militia Captain here would also not be great news. Portable Hull. Okay. Taking out my 3/3, I guess. Or they could take my Portable Hull, which would be some funny tech. I can't... Yeah, I will say I don't recommend playing the Sweet Esper Yorion deck in my Untapped. I don't think it's very good. But if you want to play it, be my guest.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Alright, do you have another card in your hand that affects the board here? Ouch. Yep, that's probably Curtains. That one's hard to beat. Yeah, 2 collected companies, just too many collected companies. I think we're just straight dead, right? Alright. We'll see. Alright. Here they come. I'm forced to just double chump here, actually. Yeah, I'm dead. Okay. Yuck. Actually, no, wait. Oh, chat, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. If I draw Tulsimir and kill their Brutal Cathar, I'm actually right back in the game. That was really stupid. That was really stupid. Okay. Losing to Green White Humans is embarrassing. I did have a couple outs.
Need to become
Germs and Nuaz, thank you both for following. Let's keep playing this. I don't want to go out on that. Don't want to go out like that. Maybe Tempered Steel next match. That was sad. Oh, wait. I was supposed to put another Blade Splicer. That's my bad, too. Alright, this hand is great. Yeah. Even if we just had 7 cards in our hand against them, I think we can win that game. Almost no matter what the last card is. Just, woof. Yeah, I'm not actually calling for any bans. I'm saying if they let me ban a card, I would probably go ahead and do it, because I think most formats are probably slightly underbanned from. But I think the format is totally reasonable right now without it. Alright, so this is 5-color Niv. Gigantha plus Raugrin Triumph only means one thing. And it's disgusting. No, it's fine. Alright, so we're going to start with Innkeeper here. So against Niv, a couple of things to keep in mind are... it's easy to think of as a control deck, but Kavus are terrifying, and Kavus will kill you if you are not careful. So you definitely don't want to just like board out all your removal. Giant Killer is hugely important. You want to be able to kill Niv, and Giant Killer does that. Wait, we have a forest. This is fine. This hand could really use a Wall of Blossoms, or our opponent not having a Deafening Clarion. Either of those things would be great. Yeah, 5-color Niv is another solid contender for best deck in the format, by the way. I used to love these decks back when they were a little worse. Ironically, now that they're good, I'm slightly down on them. I find the mana, like the land stuff you're doing, to be a little clunky. So they do have 4 copies of Lightning Helix in their deck. We are just going to attack with Skyclave Apparition, but not Innkeeper, because I really don't want to lose both of these. Cool. Alright, and now... Now what is the question? I think it's just going to be... Ranger Captain probably grabbing Selfless Savior here. Protects me from a sweeper a little bit. And then I can blink the Captain with a Charming Prince later to get the Giant Killer before any of their really big stuff comes into play. There's a small part of me that wants 3-bit Inspector here, but I don't think that's correct. God, I need to make like a Team Adventures command, don't I? It just answers the question once for all. No, no, you cannot play that deck in Historic. Not plausible. I mean, Teamer would be totally fine against probably some of these control decks we're seeing. It would get absolutely dumpstered by every aggro deck. Not consistent enough. Pastius, what do you mean by 4 times the rep? Like, what numbers are those? I don't even understand what you're referring to. Okay, time to get some chip damage, one little bit of chip at a time. Deathmania, I forgot, unfortunately. Forgot to do that thing. Okay, Prince gonna blink this Ranger Captain. If they try to Helix it in response, we got the Savior. If they try to Vanishing Verse it, whatever, they got me. They got me, okay. So if they have a Niv next turn, this is going to be kind of tough. Always second response, why not? Yeah, if they go for Niv and I don't have the ability to go fetch a Giant Killer anymore, things are going to be really rough. But, you know, we'll do what we can here. Hope they don't have the Niv. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, we'll see how good the Niv is. I've beaten this deck the last couple of times I played against it, but their curve here was really strong. The Vanishing Verse especially just really, really worked around all the stuff I was trying to do. Alright, that's a beatable Niv. Would really be nice to get a Wall of Blossoms next turn. Wall of Blossoms in untapped land would be, like, super hype. How about a Llanowar Elves, Aaron? How do you feel about Llanowar Elves? Okay, well, it is time to start the Yorion loop. What is the payoff in their deck or my deck? Alright, the question is, do I play the Scatter Groves or just cycle it? I think we might just be cycling it, honestly. I think we need more card velocity. We got the treasure off the Innkeeper. So we blink everything because we're always getting life off the Innkeeper. bring it all back. We're gonna go ahead and blink the... Do I blink the Yorion here? Currently they've got Maelstrom Pulse, Territorial Kavu, a bunch of stuff I don't care that much about. Where do I just scry to? I think we have to scry to here. I think we just need to find something that does something. Esika's Chariot, that counts. That counts. That's enough of something. We're at 27 life. They do have to just kill you with damage. They generate a lot of value, but they're not like the Magma Opus decks where they can just easily like destroy you no matter what. They actually do have to kind of beat you on board, and we are very good at going long against decks that are trying to beat us on board. They also have almost no cards that can ever kill Yorion. We can Selfless Savior away Maelstrom Pulse. Vanishing Verse doesn't do it, Lightning Helix doesn't do it, and if we can just keep Yorion looping, that's like very good news for us. They also can't really attack because they don't want to be trading 6 damage for 4. Okay, so they've got Maelstrom Pulse, could have another Vanishing Verse, could have Lightning Helix. Gonna go ahead, and now I'm gonna start playing... Actually, I don't think I'm playing lands here. I think I still hold this to maybe cycle, given that I'm starting to try and do blinks every turn. So we're gonna start with Charming Prince, try and blink Yorion. Because I'd rather resolve the Chariot than the Prince, if they have some kind of general purpose counter. This might also pull something like a Lightning Helix out of their hand now if they want to stop me from getting blink value later? I don't know. Modern gets Abundant Growth, Modern gets Oath of Nissa. So it's like 1 mana cantrip permanence. It's really good. Omnath, of course. This might get vetoed. If this gets vetoed, it's going to be tough for me, but it didn't get vetoed. That's great. That's good news. So we're getting a lot of life. We're making a lot more board presence. At some point, we can probably force a Clarion. I'm going to keep Scattered Groves in hand still, because I expect we're just going to need every resource we can possibly muster to win this game. We do keep Selfless Savior in play now. We need Selfless Savior to be in play at all times. Now what they could do is like kill the Savior and then Maelstrom Pulse the Yorion, in which case we're going to be using Charming Princes to scry into another Yorion. Try to do that at least. Charming Prince's scries can definitely help you line up surprisingly well against a bunch of stuff. We're going to put a stop on their end step in case I want to... I don't really need to do that, I guess. We're not going to cycle Scattered Groves because we have to use 2 treasures for it. Interesting. Okay. They have an instant speed removal spell of some kind for Yorion, too? What instant speed destroy target creature spell with their deck play? I didn't think so. Alright, and their deck does kind of do a lot of wheel spinning. Much of the time. Like, just making a bunch of cats by itself is not going to kill them, because they're eventually going to have a Clarion, but... Yeah, this is going to be interesting. If we can win this game, I'm going to feel extra good about this matchup, but I still think we're not favored. They do have a lot of cards in their hand right now. Okay, so we're going to have one of these definitely blinks Yorion. And the other one definitely scries. Skyclave Apparition can beat a Kavu later? Is that good enough? I don't think so. I think I really need Wall of Blossoms or Ephemerate or Restoration Angel. Something to, like, get us back up and running if our opponent does something scary to our board. I think I need spells that do stuff right now. Ranger Captain's awesome. Ranger Captain is phenomenal, in fact. Let's go get a giant killer and give our opponent the business here. Yes, please. Goodbye, Niv. Hello, opponent taking a lot of damage. Do I blink a treasure? Do I make? I think I make another treasure here. Yeah, I think the only way our opponent doesn't die is if they Clarion immediately, and if they Clarion immediately, it doesn't matter whether I have a cat or not. So I'm just gonna make a treasure because it's a little bit of value that actually accomplishes something. Oh, we get to sacrifice the Ranger Captain. I forgot we get to sacrifice Ranger Captain, so our opponent's extra super double dead. I forget this card has other text sometimes, Chad. It's really good. They could Fatal Push the Ranger Captain, but whatever. Alright, we're just gonna blink Chariot, Prince, Innkeeper. Hold up Ranger Captain, they're super smoked. Yeah, we definitely sack Captain because they only think that I would be Clarion. Goodbye. Alright, that was actually really easy. And this is the reason I don't really play the Niv deck, is in games like this it feels incredibly clumsy. They have like a limited set of answers, and those answers can kind of cover a bunch of stuff, but it feels like it's a little too easy to weave around them. Yeah, as I said, this deck is a really good matchup. Hey, what's up, Hot Dog? Sorry I missed you in the bits of that intense game, but thank you so much for the resubscription. Whew. Alright, so we definitely like Ranger Captain against them. I don't like Blade Splicer. Blade Splicer can't attack through Kavu, it can't block Kavu, it dies to deafening Clarion, it just doesn't do very much. Unfortunately, Kavu does make it so you have to keep all the Skyclave apparitions in. Doesn't hit anything but Kavu, but you desperately need them for Kavu. So that's all there is to it. You do want Spellbinders. You are not especially into Thraven Inspector. There's like a world where I just like cut this completely, kind of get sideboarded out in every matchup. Selfless Savior is reasonable enough, I think. This could be a Llanowar Elves out matchup. It's interesting. The extra speed feels like it matters a little bit more, but honestly, maybe put Thraven Inspector back in. We actually cut the Elves, and we just play every card in the deck generates value.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, Chet. That's the goal.
Portable Hole, being able to stop Kavus is... makes it interesting enough that I think we play some number. I'm not sure if we want all three. I don't think we want all three. This would actually be a good time to test Toski in this matchup, wouldn't it? It would be. So our deck got really expensive all of a sudden, but I think that's fine. Oh, Tolsmir's not very good. We can cut Tolsmir's. I think I cut one. Do I want one portable hole, two portable holes? What else does Skyclave hit? It hits Binding of the Old Gods, I guess? What other permanents do they even play? I'm trying to figure out if I want to cut the second Tolsmir for a second portable hole. Oh yeah, Krasis. Klothys. People should never. Yeah, people should never bring in Klothys against me, but they sometimes do. I think we'll try this. See. Aviator Welsh, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I think Brainglide is really cool. It is a shame that it kind of just is default to Niv card instead of... I like the old Brainglide toolbox decks a lot before Niv kind of became the dominant thing to get. I think Birthing Pod could be an interesting addition to Historic. It would probably be busted, but I'd be interested to see what people do with it. This hand is really good. Any hand with Wall of Blossoms against a grindy control-y deck, you're really happy to see that. Yeah, I'll hold up the Cycle Land for now. Thanks, Aviator. Yeah, I make myself play decks that are, you know, a little bit off the beaten path, which sometimes ends up being really great and making me famous and stuff, and sometimes works out really badly.
Become Aaron Girdler tonight.
All right, so this is nice. We get to Innkeeper Portable Hole, and yep, really happy about these portable holes. It's just so important that you're not getting hit with a 5/5. That just, you know, you can play the value game with them, but it's really hard to play the value game with them while they're also hitting you with a 5/5. Now, of course, they can kill the portable hole, but even so, just delaying their Kavu for a little bit's nice. All right, if they have Prismari Command, I'm going to be really sad. we'll see about that one. All right. So we now get to go Sun Petal Grove, Wall of Blossoms. Definitely want to hold up Ephemerate now. We have the Prismari command. I guess I should have attacked first. Wasn't really a good reason not to. Sad. Okay. Okay, well, Kabu's back. Sure. The question is now, do I Ephemerate here, or do I wait and try to block and then Ephemerate? Block and then Ephemerate, I get hit by Vanishing Verse, but I think that's all, and they don't have untapped White Source. So I'm going to hope they don't have an untapped White Source here to threaten Vanishing Verse. There's also some chance... Okay, great. They just go for... Yeah, I like saving 5 life. Saving 5 life sounds great. They could have Fatal Push. But, you know... We'll have to take some gambles here to beat what was a pretty good draw from them on the play. Yeah, Heliod Squirrel combo. Just discards a Deafening Clarion. That's very brave, but correct. I assume. Nice. Okay. Step 1 achieved. Glad we didn't play the Scattered Groves. Oh, thanks, Mikhail. Alright, Clothis is here. Alright, they brought in Clothis, so good eye, whoever suggested that as a thing that might happen.
We need to
Can I find a Skyclave apparition at some point?
That's the goal.
Amiria's Call, okay. Kabira Takedown. All this stuff could come in handy at some point.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
For now, we're just going to cast this before anything can happen. Actually, this was wrong, chat. This was wrong. I should be trying to prevent another 5 damage. Yeah, alright. We're also just flooding a lot, so might be hard. We did draw a lot of cards off the Wall of Blossoms, as promised. It's just they were all lands. Okay, hey! Go for it! Love it. Go ahead and Thoughtseize. Go ahead and Thoughtseize. You like what you sees? You like what you sees, opponent? This means I can just put Yorion to hand next turn with some safety, maybe. We rip a Skyclave apparition, we're right back in this. That is totally fine. Have fun. Okay, we're going to keep all the Blossoms up because I do need to have it for Ephemerate or Angel or whatever. Opponent likes whatever 2 cards are in their hand, they're going to keep them. They notably missed a land drop, which is cool. We are going to keep looking for stuff to do. Keep missing. Okay. Sometimes you're just going to get these games. I don't think it's terribly characteristic of our matchup against Niv. Sometimes you just draw nothing and die.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat.
Opponent still likes the cards in their hand, which is a big uh-oh. We could just die to 2 Helixes here. And of course sometimes they just run like Mystical Dispute or something. So we're very, very likely to get ground out, but we'll see. We draw an Ephemerate, anything can happen. Restoration Angel, not bad either. The question is, do I play Yorion now or do I try and Resto? I think I'm supposed to try and Resto here. Yeah, I think I try and Resto here. Reason being that... I would like to be able to Yorion Blinking Resto, basically, and get a much bigger chain going, if at all possible. Yeah. Yeah, that 5 life we failed to gain, really hitting me hard now. That could lose us the game very easily. And I'm sure they still have Helixes in. I doubt they ever board out Helixes. So I need to find like a Charming Prince pretty quick. Alright, if they have a Fatal Push, it's whatever. Vanishing Verse, sure. We at least got our block off. So there's still time to draw Skyclave Apparition and get something going. Still time to draw Skyclave Apparition, get something going. The time is over. We are dead. Okay. Okay, yeah. That's the problem with Portable Hole. The decks where you... It's very rare that you need to bring this in against a deck that's running Prismari Command, but when you do, boy, it sucks. Boy, it really sucks. Alright. Still, if it weren't for the Flood, we would have been okay there. Being able to get a giant killer would have made a huge difference at any point, of course. Not entirely sure how I feel about Toski, but I'm still testing it. Five Gorillas, thanks for the follow. Oh, Artificial Instinct. Oh, and Artur, Arik. Missed a lot of people. I can't even make the excuse that was an intense game, because it really wasn't. We were just getting ripped the whole time. Hey, that's more like it. That's a frickin' hand. Let's go. Let's go. If we had an untapped land, we can just play turn 3 Chariot, which is a thing I am very into trying. We have a Skyclave Apparition. Everything is coming up, Little Beep. And yeah, whether we win or lose this, we'll go ahead and swap to another deck and try to remember to gamble a little bit.
We need to become Aaron Gert.
Gabriel, thanks for the follow. Yeah, if Niv ever does become like a dominant deck, you can certainly attack their mana base, and I'm not scared of becoming that, I will say. Alright, well, I'm just going to play Wall here in the interest of, as always, hitting land drops. Just you wait, we're going to get one next turn. Just you wait. If only we could splash Expressive Iteration in here somewhere, we would hit all of our land drops. Alright, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. No complaints there. It's a tap land, but I do not care. Give me tap lands all you want. Valaria have played the Shaman deck. The Shaman deck is something I might actually play on the weekend. I think the Shaman deck is very strong and also fun to play. Solid contender. Nice. Love seeing that one. Love seeing that one too. Okay, so are we charioting? Yeah, we chariot here. I think I want to burn my treasure to get one card off of a Yorion. Just yet. I did play against a Pawns deck the other day. They did manage to color my lands in one game. It was very annoying, and then the other two games they died in the way you would normally expect a Pawns deck to die. Alright. So our opponent is hitting their land drops and stuff, but their draw is also just like uber clunky. I think we're going to run them over. At this point, I am definitely... Well, I could Ranger Captain, draw Llanowar Elves, cast Llanowar Elves, crew Chariot, make a treasure. That's interesting. I'm not that scared of Niv in particular. And I kind of like making more treasures. Let's try that. Let's try that. Oh wait, I took out all my Llanowar Elves, chat. The flaw in this plan was that I took out all of my Llanowar Elves. Forgot about that. Okay. Well, shit. Guess it's Selfless Savior. Whoops. Took out... I guess the lesson there is keep one copy of Llanowar Elves in your deck, just in case. Okay, well, if they have a Niv here and I don't hit an untapped land, we are going to have done this to ourselves. Fuck. Whoops. It was not... That was just me hitting my keyboard accidentally. Fuck. Alright, still a winnable game, just what a punt. God. God, this was so easy. I could have just played Yorion that turn. I could have blinked the Chariot. At least they're discarding a hand size, and most of these cards aren't very good. Frick. Wall of Blossoms, great. Just great. We are such idiots. Alright, well, let's hit a land. Land or Ephemerate. Okay. And now I'm going to cast possibly just Elite Spellbinder? Seems reasonable to get a look at what's going on in their hand. Maybe take away a counterspell if they have one. Okay, that is a handful of cards. Which ones do I care about of all these cards? Not a ton. Maybe the Scarab God, because that's a card that can actually probably Vanishing Verse. This isn't really a yikes. Like, we're both going to be doing a bunch of stuff for the next couple of turns. The question is, which of their stuff... I could just take Expressive Iteration, make it really annoying for them to hit land drops. Like, Clarion barely does anything. That one's fine. Vanishing Verse is a little bit annoying. Maelstrom Pulse barely does anything. So it's either Vanishing Verse or it's Iteration. I think just Iteration and try to keep them tangled up. Tough call, though. Yeah, that was really funny punt. It's definitely not one I've made before. Okay, so they've still got Vanishing Verse up. Clothis is in play. There's no way in heck they're supposed to be attacking here, and they know it. So I should get to resolve Yorion. Unless their new draw was Mystical Dispute or something, in which case, you know, I'll tip my cap to my opponent. My best guess is they respond to this by Vanishing Versing the Chariot. They might Vanish Reverse the Ranger as well, remembering Giant Killer. I think the correct play here is to Vanishing Verse the Ranger, but we'll see. Interesting. That one doesn't seem like the thing at all. I'll take it, though. Ride or Die, I don't think an ECD earns a spot in the 95. It would be good in exactly this matchup, but it's very slow. Like, Tulsimir is considerably better than it most of the time. Against the Teferi decks, ECD is, you know, just a card that kind of sits dead in your hand until they have a Teferi, which is not great. Alright. I will take one Giant Killer, please. Draw some lands? Draw some lands? Shit. Okay, well, Ephemerate's really good. Ephemerate is sort of like a land in that it's an extremely busted card that, you know, is lots of mana for 1 mana. Alright, what's the play here? If they Clarion, I'm still just going to save Yorion to make sure they can't pulse it. We need to keep Yorion around to Ephemerate and stuff. Yeah, Ripax, that is my experience playing against this deck a lot too. Okay, Kaya's going to come down. Is Kaya going to take out my dog? Is that the plan? Kaya and Clothis definitely make an interesting little combo. Yeah, to save Yorion this turn. Now what? Yeah, Jolly Flame. Oh, should I have sacked Ranger Captain there too? Maybe I should have sacked Ranger Captain in response to that. Darn it. I mean, we'll sack it now. That was probably bad though. Let's punt me. I should have sacked Ranger Captain in response to that because they were obviously going to follow up with Clarion, and if we sack Ranger Captain, they just can't do anything anyway. So they can't attack with Niv. My Yorion is indestructible, so I will block it. Cool. We had a land. That's nice. That's nice. This is one of those great Clover turns, so I'm just going to put this into play untapped because I know we're going to figure out a way to use it, even if I don't know exactly what we're doing yet. I guess what we're doing is actually pretty boring. It's just chopping down the Niv. Crew Chariot. Kill Kaya. Not because Kaya is especially dangerous, but just, you know, keep the board clear. We're at a very safe life total. So then we go ahead and Charming Prince the Yorion, which is going to come down, blink Walls and Chariot, and this should be over. Awkward mistake, but didn't end up mattering very much because the Niv deck just isn't very good against us unless they're hitting us with an early Kavu, in addition to everything else. Part of me wonders if they boarded out Kavus for once they saw Portable Hole. That would be extremely funny. Scrab God. Alright, opponent's not even going to try and Elstrom pulse this Yorion. They're going to try and go bigger. Cool. Good luck. If they go for Thoughtseize, I am just going to Ephemerate Yorion here. It's going to look a little weird, but I do want to cast the one... Actually, is that true? Do I Ephemerate here? I don't know if I Ephemerate here. Do I Ephemerate here? It's probably not necessary. Yeah, I agree, Coverman. They shouldn't have boarded out Kavus, but I wonder if they did. Yeah, I don't mind them taking Ephemerate. Took Skyclave Apparition. Opponent's really confident that this Colossus is going to make the difference. Maybe... I mean, maybe that's their only chance right now is just to treat this like a burn matchup and try to burn me out. What is Prince blinking exactly? I think Prince is just scrying? Because I kind of do want to attack with Yorion this turn. I do want to start getting damage on my opponent. I think we just scry. Alright. Love the first untapped land. Not sure we need the second one as much. Okay. So... we can play Giant Killer and threaten to tap the Scarab God. That seems nice. This is definitely going to look like... Actually, here's what we do. We just crew... We're not going to attack with Yorion because we're going to blink Yorion in combat to save our Chariot, so we're just going to use this to crew the Chariot. Attack with everything. Yep. Alright, they blocked Charming Prince. That's an interesting decision. Okay, well, we'll go with Resto here. Save the Ephemerate to play on our opponent's turn, I think. And I'm not even going to blink the Chariot. We have plenty of value. I'm just going to make sure we're dealing damage to our opponent as we go. Okay, do I play Giant Killer? I think the best strategy here is to try and have as much stuff off the battlefield on my opponent's turn as possible. So I think this looks like Charming Prince. Blink Yorion. Alright, hey! Ripback, Stason, knock it off. No unpleasantries in my chat, please. Neither of you is ever going to, you know, make the other person feel as bad as you're making yourselves feel. So silly. So silly. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and blink. Where'd Yorion go? Oh, Yorion's not on the battlefield yet. Alright, we'll just go ahead and blink this Chariot, whatever. At this point, I'm just gonna start playing kind of sloppy because it doesn't really matter what I do. Our opponent is dead, 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 dead. I'll start probably just gaining life with these Charming Princes just to make sure they know they can't burn us out. Alright, blink you, and you. Yeah, something that folks who are new to the channel might not know is that part of my actual job in real life is that I have to do content moderation for a big online forum. So when I come here to stream, I really don't want to have to moderate y'all if at all possible. So don't make me take out the stick. We entered garbage time like a little while ago. I mean, they can take Ephemerate here. Actually, no, they can't take Ephemerate here. Well, they can take Ephemerate here, right? Yeah, there's no use to blinking Yorion because they get to kill it if they want to. But we're just getting so much stuff back this next turn. Oh, we have a Yorion in the exile zone too. I forgot this was one from our hand. Tim's, Jeff Hoogland used to play Lumbering Battlement in Standard some. And it looked kind of fun when he was doing that. It's definitely not good enough for Historic. Yorion is just infinitely better. I don't think you need more copies of this effect. Are they dead to damage? Yeah, they're dead to damage. Okay. Alright, Portable Hole, thanks for showing up only later. Nice, Jasmox. Feel free to throw the link into chat. Alright, that was a satisfying way to close out this deck for the stream. Let's play a little bit of something else and get the gambling going. Give people a chance to earn some channel points, which they can... I promise we'll have some more rewards up eventually. I don't have any right now because the camera setup is not such that I can do chin-ups here anymore. I know y'all love the chin-ups. Okay, so let me show you, before we do any gambling, I'll show you the deck I want to play next. So there's a bunch of stuff here. All of these decks are decks I think are like plausibly interesting historic decks, except for Mono Green. I kind of just built this and haven't tried it all yet. The deck that I think is second most likely to be the one that I play is Red-White Tempered Steel. I actually should take a look at the Sultai list. Maybe we could play this? Binding, Narset, Omen. God, this does speak to my heart a little bit. Boy, it feels like it would be so miserable to play against humans, but maybe you get away with it. Yeah, I don't think I'll try this on stream for now, but maybe I'll play it later. Thanks for the list, Jazz. Yeah, so this list is playing a bunch of broken Modern Horizons 2 type cards. You got your Esper Sentinels, you got your Nettle Cysts, you got your Tempered Steel, which I guess is a different historic exclusive type card. You got your Vault Scourges. I have played Arcbound Mouser in this spot before. I'm not sure which of these is better, Scourge or Mouser. My suspicion is that the Evasion is better than the Modular. You get Blinkmoth Nexus, with which a Tempered... when you have a Tempered Steel in play, Blinkmoth Nexus is the best creature land in the format. Might be the best creature land in the format anyway, honestly. Showdown of the Scald is one of those cards that is definitely on a historic power level. And you have a ton of haste creatures, which makes Showdown of the Scalds really nice. You can just kind of deal a bunch of damage to your opponent right away. Yeah, there are a lot of cards you could play in this slot. Like, Stone Coil could theoretically work. Mirror Enforcer, I really don't think is worth it. Mirror Enforcer is one of those cards where if you're casting it for free, you should be winning the game already. If you're casting it for like 2 mana, you should also probably be winning the game. If you're casting it for 3 mana, why are you playing a 3 mana 4/4? I don't think there's nearly... I just don't... Without artifact lands, I can't imagine something like that working, and I also don't want to play artifact lands, because that's 4 more colorless sources in my deck, and Blinkmoth Nexus is much better. Arcbound Ravager would be... probably be fine for historic, but seems like one of those cards where, like, why are we doing that exactly? Actually, I kind of hate Arcbound Ravager for historic. I just realized that Arcbound Ravager can put all of its counters in Esper Sentinel, and I began to shiver. Yeah, so Stonecoil Serpent, yeah. If Niv were a bigger deck in the format, I'd be more into sideboarding Stonecoils, and maybe it's possible Niv is a big enough deck in the format that I should just sideboard Stonecoils anyway. I'm not really sure about these Thalias, or these Ferocidons. I'm really not sure about this. This is not a deck I'd played with much. The sideboard is very thrown together, and might just be really bad. Probably is really bad. Anyway, let's start a bet. We'll play at least one match of this, then we have to play one match of something else too. See how we feel about the Tempered Steel. How do I start a gamble? I never remember how this works. Clips, raids, ads, predictions. Here we are. Alright, predictions live, chat. Do you think we're going to win our match with Tempered Steel? I've had good results with this deck, but I have not played it very much, and I'm not even sure I've played it at Mythic before. Sort of, Kevlar Man. Sort of. I mean, it's a 3 for 2, because then Sentinel just draws the card, too. Ugly Hood Rat. I mean, Mono White Humans is a fine playable deck in Historic. It seems worse than the Collected Company versions to me, but people do it. Hand looks great. Any land is great, and turn 2 Steel Overseer, turn 3 Steel Overseer is a perfectly fine backup plan against... If our opponent's playing Merfolk, they are not going to have a good time with Steel Overseers. Smellio, why should I play Knight of Autumn on my Blink list? Oh, not merfolk. Okay. Like, it's a nice card, but what is it actually stopping? Like, what decks is Knight of Autumn good against that I don't have better answers for? Kevlar Man, why are they losing Ravager and Sentinel if all I had was a Doomblade? Okay, Luminarch Aspirant is not as fast as Steel Overseer. Now the question is, do I play a second Steel Overseer? I think the answer is yes, I do play a second Steel Overseer. Before playing out the other stuff here. In case they have Brutal Cathar or something. And I have declared that I am the beatdown. At least, certainly I'm not blocking with Esper Sentinel here, so I might as well attack with it. Yeah, well, the idea is, Kevlar Man, you just kill them, you know. If they're killing your Sentinel instead of your Ravager, then your Ravager is just getting bigger at the same time, which seems bad too. Adeline, we can handle Adeline, that's fine. Jolly Flying Man, I doubt it. 6 mana is a hell of a lot. This is a very hard aggro deck. If you're getting to 6 mana, something's probably gone wrong. But like, maybe? I tried a blue version of this deck a little bit and then realized I just wanted Showdown of the Scalds more than I wanted anything else. Okay, so here we're going to go with Vault Scourge. We do actually want this life gain. Into Court Homunculus over Gingerbrute, because I do want to be attacking with stuff this turn. We're going to go Pump. Going to go Pump. Smash. And opponent's going to need a really good Coco to get out of this. They could hit a really good Coco and get out of this because I didn't hit a third land, but that is what they're going to need. Yeah, I mean, I could imagine a version of this deck playing Thought Monitor and playing like Spire of Industry and a bunch of, you know, making the 3-color mana base work somehow. I feel like doing that and playing Blinkmoth Nexus seems really hard though, and I love Blinkmoth Nexus. This is rough because my opponent attacking literally just feeds me 3 life, which is really awkward. Yeah, I mean, it would probably be fine. I wouldn't be like eager to throw it into Historic. But, I mean, I do like playing artifact decks. The artifact deck I want to be good, though, is like the sweet artifact value decks. And those are not great. Alright, they're just attacking with Adeline. Don't love that decision. What is indestructible? Adeline is indestructible. Sure. Hey, drew the third land. Alright, are they dead? To Blinkmoth Nexus, they're not dead yet. So what am I doing exactly to them this turn on attacks? Attacking into them with anything but Vault Scourge seems kind of iffy. I could play Gingerbrute, attack into them with Gingerbrute Vault Scourge, go to 12. Only having 2 creatures back feels a little risky, though. I could make Nexus into a creature. Okay, I think it's this. I think we go Gingerbrute. Yeah, I saw that, Dason. My blue-eyed artifact deck was quite similar to Cunio's when I was testing it. Just because there aren't that many good artifact cards in this format. Alright, we'll go with Steel Overseer Pump. Steel Overseer Pump. And it feels like from a life total of 13, we should be pretty safe here with 3 blockers. If I'm wrong, then tough luck for me. But they would have to, yeah, they'd have to have Coco into like multiple removal creatures, I think. Alright, so humans. The sideboard is like made up. I don't know what cards are supposed to be in here. I don't even know what we're supposed to bring in. I guess I want Portable Hole. It's also possible I don't want to sideboard anything and I just want to like beat them down as hard as possible. Like, it's not like any of my cards are bad against them. Bomat Courier is probably the worst creature because it doesn't really hit very hard. I can see cutting some Bomat Couriers for Portable Holes. Or like maybe 2 of them for Rip-Aparts, because Rip-Apart can also hit like Skyclave Apparition and Brutal Cathar and stuff. We can trim showdowns as well. Yeah, on the draw we probably trim showdowns. I like that. So we'll trim some showdowns, trim some couriers. And go for... probably just straight up 4 portable holes, right? It's so efficient. And you can hit off Ingenious Smith. Okay, we'll try this. Sure. Hand is obviously a little land heavy, but any hand with a Tempered Steel you're just supposed to keep. Pretty much. Tempered Steel and at least 1 creature, and it's really hard to say no to that. So the thing I'm used to doing with Yorion is just portable holding the clue in this position and feeling like a real gangster because me will blink the portable hole later, but we have to be a little bit more conservative here, sadly. Yeah, Thraben Inspector, I'm glad we cut some Bomats, is all I'll say to that. Luminarch Aspirant, sure. So the question is the opponent going to try and play a little grindier here? It might be that, like, post-sideboard this becomes grindy enough that we actually both want to be having, like, I want all my showdowns. But that's probably not actually true. Okay. We found our portable hole target. Goodbye. Alright, if they have like an Adeline would be a nightmare. Because that means Tempered Steel gets stopped in its tracks. If they can't stop the Tempered Steel creatures, then we're in better shape. Second Forest. Pretty sure you're not supposed to even play 1 forest in this deck. Let alone 2 forests. Oh no! Oh, that's not good. That's real bad news. Don't like that at all. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, that's a toughie. Alright, and they're just chilling. That's honestly fine. Let's just get our chip damage in as best we can. Now we're probably dying, but... There's the Plains Coco. I don't even think so, Dason. I feel like if you're playing Yashar and you're playing it to go get it against Jund, and do you really need the 6th land in your hand against Jund with your Yasharn in play? Whoa, no Coco. Alright, alright. Looking like a game we could still plausibly win with the right set of things. It's a good situation. I'm still feeling behind, but... You know, our Bomats are going to reload us at some point. Dramoka's Command, sure. That's a good one to know about. Okay. Second Gingerbread. Alright. Well, keep playing creatures. And the question is, do I attack with Courier to cycle it? With Tempered Steel waiting in the wings, I really doubt it. I really doubt that's supposed to be the plan. Now, attacking with a bunch of 1/1s is probably going to get us creamed by our opponent's bigger, tougher cards, but we got a chance. Kellerman, I don't think so. Esper Sentinel draws cards if they cast a Deckenstone or a Portable Hole or a Collected Company. I think Bomat just kind of sits around most of the time. I feel like, and they have Dramoka's Command too. Like they have actually quite a lot of spells. I mean, Bomat's not terrible. It's possible that Bomat's better than like whatever the 2/2 is. It's probably not though. If they have company, they should just be playing it now. There's not really a good reason for them not to. They have Thalia's Lieutenant in their deck and they should just be killing me. So I assume this is something else. Brutal Cathar, that makes sense. Yeah, it's looking tough for us here. We're gonna die if we play Tempered Steel. Yeah, this one's over. Oops. Dying in the air to Spellbinder. Can't remove it at all. Yeah, Trigger Warning. Strict Proctor's an interesting idea. Deals with a few different things well. I should write that down, actually. I always forget that Strict Proctor exists, but it's pretty good. I don't know if that's true, Killer Man. It might be worse than Hushbringer. Being a flyer and being able to actually block is kind of nice. And I feel like 2 mana is like just about the same as infinity for humans. Alright, so sideboard, I think I do want showdowns. And I think I don't actually love the portable holes. Kind of like having removal spells for brutal Cathars and stuff. Maybe I could cut a 3rd Bomat? Does that make sense? A Gingerbread, a Court Homunculus, of...
We need to become Aaron Gertler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Hey, thanks for the new follow. 15-minute player. I'll take a look and figure out whether it was my screen. Honestly, kind of tricky. Let's try... Try this? I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. This looks just splendid. Start with Court Homunculus or Esper Sentinel. I think it's Esper Sentinel here, just because I expect my opponent, any game where my opponent is competitive, is going to be one where they kill Still Overseer on turn 2. Opponent kept their Esper Sentinels in, sure. Yeah, I mean, Enter the Battlefield effects are a huge part of what a lot of decks are doing right now. I think that cards that can stop them seem really good in general. Alrighty. Let's get the team growing. Yeah, I'm liking this Vault Scourge more than the Mouser, I think. Having a flyer here is great. I'm chilling. My creatures are getting bigger more consistently than theirs are, I think. Skyclave Apparition. Gonna snort the Overseer down, that's fine. Got a pretty strong board here. Can I just get a land for Nettlecyst or Tempered Steel? Ugh, alright. Everyone comes in here. I just want to get their Sentinel off the board so I can portable hole something. And just generally do more things in the rest of the game. Yeah, we might want to add a 22nd land to this deck. Actually, I think we are on 22 right now. Like, you always want to hit three land drops with this deck, and I might be playing too few for that. Especially with Showdown to be like a recovery tool. Okay, opponent's got Coco. We're going to hopefully just hit Tempered Steel now. Beautiful. Okay. And we're going to hope they don't hit too many removal creatures off this Coco of theirs. There are definitely ways we get completely eviscerated by it, but there are definitely Cocos they could hit that would not be very impressive. Let's see what it's going to be. Not great. Not great. But they go to 8. Many of my draws are very good here. Yeah, this feels like kind of a bad sign for Tempered Steel. The fact that we kind of get hit really hard by these cards. Like, when you get down to it, we're sort of playing a similar deck to humans, and we have some small advantages, but them having collected company is such a tremendous disadvantage for us that it feels hard to beat. Okay, hit the land. Am I attacking with Court Homunculus here? I would be pretty happy to trade this for Adeline, I think. Yeah, they're going to be forced to trade Adeline for it. If I could just kill something, Adeline wouldn't be able to block anymore, and that'd be beautiful. The real question is if they block, do I just play Showdown? I mean, the opponent has more cards in hand than us. We need to kill them fast. We need to find some way to like sneak around them and try to kill them quickly. So we're dead to this attack just by itself if we don't play a blocker, so we have to play a blocker here. We can't play Showdown. Yeah, that one missed land drop just doomed us here, unfortunately. If they can't remove this token, it's like awkward for them to attack. If they have another Brutal Cathar, we're dead. Ranger Captain of Eos probably gives them something to kill us. Yeah, it's like they're sort of the green white blink attack against us right now. All their cards just provide way too much value. I'm trying to think if there's a way I can sneak out a victory with Blinkmoth Nexus Nettlecyst. Actually, that does win the game, doesn't it? They actually just lose to Blinkmoth Nexus Nettlecyst here. That's great. That's great. Okay. I think. Pretty sure I'm counting this correctly. Alright, well here I was talking down Tempered Steel, and suddenly we're seeing like a thing that makes it kind of powerful. And a Ginger Brute, which is like just extra BM. Because we have like several ways to kill them now. Okay, so animate Blinkmoth Nexus. Right, it's going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts or enchantments, plus a 3/3 artifact creature. And we have the count here anyway, but I just wanted to double check it to be extra sure that I wasn't doing something stupid like counting the germ as an artifact. Hey! Who needs Arcbound Ravager? Nettlecyst is actually really fucking sick. Like, whenever a new set comes out, look for artifacts and see if they are enough to make Nettlecyst work in Historic. Alright, good, good, good. Okay, that is... Whew. Thanks, Kevlar, man. Alright. Well, that was exciting. Let's reward the predictors. Thank you. 7723. Good stuff, good stuff. Whoosh. Okay. They probably had some way to win that, I don't know. Nettlecyst is hard enough to play with that I sometimes forget how it works. Alright, let's revise the sideboard a little bit. What do I want to do with this sideboard of this deck? Was there some card I really wanted to have in against them that match that we didn't have access to? I don't know. Is there some like unfair broken burn card that like kills a bunch of humans but doesn't kill any of my creatures somehow? Sadly, we don't get Witch's Vengeance, so I don't think the card I'm thinking of exists. I was debating Stonecoil Serpent and Proctor. I don't think Stonecoil Serpent really makes much sense. I don't know, like, Grafdigger's Cage needs to come in against John. Like, this has a purpose. Can't beat Catavan without this. Nah, Jesmox, the artifact lands are... Our mana is, like, pretty fraught as is. I don't think you can afford to play Treasure Vaults in the deck. Yeah, we got 22 lands. 12 red sources, which is about what we need. You could maybe, like, squeeze one in there. I don't think it makes a huge difference either way. I guess the power on Nettlecyst is nice. I think if you're playing mono-white, you definitely want a bunch of them. I'm really nervous about it in red-white. with especially double white tempered steel. You're basically playing 18 colored sources right now, and you need to have double white on turn 3 most games. Maybe Thalia is just nonsense. Thalia also shuts down our own stuff, which doesn't seem very good. Glass Casket just seems like Rip Apart is here partly to kill like random enchantments of the Enchantress deck. It's here to kill Witch's Oven, that sort of thing. I think we don't want to be replacing this with Casket. I'm not sure about Frostdawn. Frostdawn might be dumb. I like putting in this card because it kind of crushes me when other people play it, but... Another exciting option against the Collected Company decks would be Containment Priest. Which, like, it's very easy to see it coming, but... It's also, like, you know, he can't do much about it once it's on the battlefield. I don't think we need Aethersphere Harvester, Jasmox. Aethersphere Harvester is normally like an anti-aggro card control deck bring in. I think we are more aggressive than pretty much any other aggro deck in the format, including against humans. Like, as you saw in those games, we have to be the ones attacking humans, not vice versa. And Harvester being like 3 mana is just really slow. Mana Tithe is cute. I was just thinking the other day that Mana Tithe is a card that seems really underplayed. Hope of Girapur I'm not so sure about. It's like not a bad card, but... One of the things I like about this deck is that it actually can recover really well from like sweepers. Because we have Showdown in the Scowls, because we have Blinkmoth Nexus, because we have a bunch of haste creatures. And I'm not sure how much I want to invest in like being anti-sweeper specifically. Like, how often are we hitting our opponent with Hope of Girapur, sacking it, still having enough power to kill them the next turn, but the only interaction they have with us is sorcery speed stuff? Yeah, Xantid Swarm at home maybe doesn't make it enough. I'm interested in this. I'm mostly interested in this because this has been like absolutely destroying me whenever I play Yorion, which might be an indicator that I am overrating in this context. I think Proctor versus Hushbringer, I probably slightly prefer Hushbringer actually. This being able to pull off showdown counters and getting lifelink seems good. Yeah, and I think Hushbringer would pretty much come in the same matchups where I want Rampaging Froststone. Rampaging Froststone is also sort of a response to, like, our deck can never beat Angels, but it might be that just nobody plays Angels, and I don't need to care about this. Hushbringer also, I guess, shuts down Angels as hard as that, as this card does. Yeah, Dominary Karn's interesting. I don't know if we need more against control than 4 Showdown of the Scalds. Let's just do a quick look at the artifacts that are around, just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah, I don't like Froststone very much. That's the card I'm looking to maybe get rid of. There's Redain. Redain has the interesting property of being like reasonable against a couple of different kinds of deck. Arcbound Shikari just doesn't seem as strong as other 3-drops. So what's reasonable? We've got Casket, not unreasonable. It's a thing we could consider. Redain, I think, is a reasonable thing to consider. If Blinkmoth Nexus had Changeling, this would be really funny, but it doesn't. By the way, can someone make this combo in Historic? I feel like almost no deck in Historic can actually beat Bookhaven right now. And, like, you have Selfless Savior. Somebody go do it. I'm not going to do it right now, but somebody got to go do it. Alright. Random equipments, no. No. Ember Cleave is really funny, but no. No. Crypt or Lantern, we already have Cage. I'm not sure we need Crypt or Lantern on top of that. My main answer to Phoenix decks is just killing them. And you absolutely need Cage against Oven. That's true, Dason, that's true. What actually happens? Doesn't Teferi Ultimate just draw the game? Oh no, it exiles the land, of course. Keverman, do you want me to play Ornithopter? I don't think we're supposed to play Ornithopter. I don't know, what are we cutting for Ornithopter? Cord Homunculus? Am I cutting my 1-mana 2-2? Am I cutting my Hasters? I think Ornithopter is a little too weak. Like, not being able to get chip damage in. It's cool if you can definitely draw Showdown in the Scalds all the time, but... yeah, it's not unreasonable. I just have my doubts that it's better than the Hasters, which are so critical of Showdown. Ingenious Myth I could see cutting, and that being a flex slot, though. So Hope of Garapur was something people were suggesting. Shadow Spear is an interesting against other aggro decks, but as we're really the most aggressive deck, so I don't think that's a real thing. I like Hushbringer a lot. Just splash Collected Company, you never know. Could work out. Soul Guide Lantern's not unreasonable. What does Silent Gravestone do again? Is this just like... okay, this is just like every card in Ixalan. It was just worse than every other kind of card that does the same thing. I'm sorry, Ixalan. But I gotta tell my truth. Barbed Spike. What does Barbed Spike do again? What is Barbed? Oh, Barbed Spike, the equipment with the Thopter attached to it. I don't think so, Jazzmox. I've been tempted to play that in a few decks, and it's always kind of disappointed me when I played it. You just kind of are paying a lot, getting not that much out of it, and without like Thought Monitor or other affinity cards, the second artifact body you get doesn't matter that much. Dancing Sword does seem sweet. I should remember what that does in a second. I don't know why we want it, though. The question is, like, for these cards that are just generically good, what are we cutting for them, or, like, what decks do we want them against that make us happy to have them? There's, like, Spyglass, Pithing Needle stuff, but I don't really know what we're trying to hit with those. Yeah, I think it might just be Redain. I like having more outs to combo decks. I think I just try Redain over this other stuff. We do get a little at 3-drop heavy for Ring and Redains. Oh yeah, no, this is an Anger Clarion format. People are correct. Maybe it's not Redain. Darn it. Alright, what does Dancing Sword do? It is cute. Sword of Body and Mind is historic legal. I don't think I own any copies of it. That card would be funny against Merfolk if it didn't cost 5 mana to play and equip. Maul of the Skyclaves exists? It's kind of funny if you need more flying against something, but... yeah, Redain's secretly an artifact, which is, you know, why he shows up here at all and why I paid attention to him. But yeah, I think against 3-mana sweepers it's not good enough. Is there some good answer like Sarah's Emissary type combo things? Maybe it's just Lantern. Although, isn't Relic just better? Yeah, we're not using our graveyard at all, so Relic is just better than Lantern for us, I'm pretty sure. In which case, maybe we just do 2 Cage, 3 Relic, 2nd Casket or something? Yeah, I don't think Tormod's Crypt is necessary. The artifact decks are pretty slow. I don't know. There are a lot of good options here, and I clearly am not super set on any of this stuff. Alright, let's get the gamble going. Quick, gamble. Gamble! Before I draw my opening hand, or, you know, use the information about me drawing my opening hand to make your predictions. In any case, it's, you know, still an even market. Give y'all another 10 seconds. Alright. Sure. We need one of our 12 like big engine cards, or if it's on turn 2 we need Steel Overseer. Up against Yorion. Well, kind of wonder if our opponent is doing our thing here. We'll see. If they're doing green-white blink, I don't feel very good about that matchup. No, they're doing something else. Neat. Okay. Of course, this implies they're going to be blinking Oaths of Kaya, which I don't like at all. But maybe we'll just draw Tempered Steel and the game will be over. Ingenious Smith, also not bad. Could draw like Bomat Courier off of this, so I'll play that out now. Okay, drew Ginger Brute. It's basically the same thing. Might as well not let our opponent know that we're playing red until we have to. Yeah, it could be Enigmatic Incarnation. It could just be like Yorion, Abzan Value. I used to love Yorion, Abzan Value. Okay, red. Could be Niv Mizzet Yorion. We could be finally seeing the fabled Niv Mizzet Yorion. Oh, so we're getting Clarions? Yep, okay. Well, we can draw Show to the Scowls, or I'll... Okay, actually, Bomet Courier works. Nevertheless, he persisted. Pow. Take that. Yes, Dason, it is Kiori. Who's Kiori? Always plays Yori and Niv. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. I mean, we're still very in this game, which is the great thing about putting red into this deck. Oh, this is another good reason to not play Tempered Steel, by the way, is there sure is a lot of artifact hate in this format right now. There is a lot of artifact hate in this format right now. Holy fuck. Mostly just Prismari Command. Just Prismari Command just being around, being a card that many control decks play is just horrifying. Also Fatal Push. Alright, we could still draw Shodan to the Scalds, or like Tempered Steel or something. So we'll continue fighting. Yeah, Kolagon's Command I don't really ever see get played, but it does hit our stuff. That's also true. Alright, Court Homunculus, opponent has Yorion in hand. I do have a Blink Moth Nexus. Alright, let's learn a little bit more about what's going on with their deck, I guess. That's a terrible thing about aggro decks. Can't just give up in this spot because we got our opponent to 9. Oh, come on. Alright, no. I'll be done here. I'll be done here. Well, guess we have no sideboard cards against any of this. They are an 80 card deck, so at least that's going to happen less often than what happened with the normal Niv deck. Yikes. Temper my expectations, Mistastic. I see you. Also, Christophorus, you followed me 21 minutes ago and I missed it. If you're still here, thank you. Christophorus. Alright, we have Esper Sentinel. See, this is a card that would be useful to have before. Like Esper Sentinels. Dason, I really don't think Hushbringers would be good here. Why would Hushbringers... I mean, I guess it does Hushbringer even... Hushbringer just turns off creatures, right? It doesn't turn off Oath of Kaya at all. Yeah, Hushbringers, A, they just die. B, they don't really add much damage to the board. And we badly, desperately need to be adding damage to the board in this matchup. It's also frustrating because probably 22 lands, given our curve, is actually like too many, but we do have expensive cards, we just don't draw them. Alright, if Esper Sentinel can at least get me a card. Alright, maybe it gets me 2 life. I've seen worse. Animate Nexus, here we go. Whoa, new subscription! 187 on a Blink. Thank you for the subscription. Here I come. You got Omen of the Sea here? Are they playing Omen of the Sea? Is that what's going on? Tyrant's Scorn, sure. I do love Tyrant's Scorn. That is my old GW Yorion favorite, as some of you may remember. Alright, let's see if they've got the untapped red land into Clarion. No. Faceless Agent. Sure. Okay. Esper Sentinel again. Alright, well. I think we are just attacking with every creature every turn here, and there's not much complicated about it. Go ahead and block the Sentinel if you want to, opponent. Okay, we successfully killed them? Feels hard to get out of this one. Okay, this is good too. Yay! Drew the card the deck was named after. Frickin' finally. There we go. Alright, that was the easy game on the play. Back we go to the draw. Yeah, so Hushbringer only hits creatures. And I think playing a 1-2 for 2 mana is bad enough that we just can never do it. Even if it stops Faceless Agents or whatever. Like, we should be killing them the turn they play Niv, not trying to stop their Niv from, you know, drawing cards in addition to be a 6/6 flyer. The Happy Goblin Jeskai Control seems like one of the best decks in Historic. It is very flexible and powerful. It plays a lot of the best cards. It has good mana. No complaints about Jeskai Control. Like, Lightning Helix, Teferi, Prismari Command, Magma Opus, Torrential Gearhulk, Expressive Iteration, and Unholy Heat all continue to be as good as they ever were. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Chat. Yeah, 22 lands. Tough number. Alright, I think this is actually gonna be Sentinel here. I feel like there's enough of a chance they're just gonna be, I don't know, playing some kind of random card draw effect? I don't know. Let's see. Second Sentinel's definitely good. This is a very good thing to be having. Okay, no Tyrant Scorn. That's great. My opponent just oops because they do have a Tyrant Scorn and they forgot to cast it. Yikes. Yikes, they kept Siphon Insight in their deck. That's not good. Alright, well, you are welcome to cast Deafening Clarion if you want to, and shock yourself in the process. No? No Deafening Clarion? No Prismari Command either? God, Esper Sentinel is so sick. God, Esper Sentinel is so sick. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Love it. Okay. This will be Overseer Homunculus, I think. Nettlecyst has Virtual Haste. I'd like to take advantage of that. Got a sweeper now? Oh no. Oh no, Kiori. Oh no, Kiori. Oh, they had a red source off my deck. That's clean. This is just Showdown the Scouts. Yeah, it's definitely Showdown the Scouts. It's Blink Moth Nexus too. Okay. Could also Nettlecyst. Maybe Nettlecyst is better. I'm gonna hit them for 4 this turn. Let's just Showdown. Keep things flowing. That was not the most impressive Showdown, but whatever. Get another Blink Moth Nexus for next turn. Yeah, they probably had to do it, and it sucked nonetheless that they had to do it. So Sentinel means they don't have Clarion. Got Maelstrom Pulse again? Prismari Command, sure. That's fine, that's fine. We are outdrawing this deck. Okay, so what am I casting this turn? I want to cast all my spells, so I unfortunately can't start throwing counters onto a Blink Moth Nexus. They have like a Fatal Push that could help a little bit. We'll see. I think we spread the counters around a little bit in case of Fatal Push. They could have Clarion, but I'm seeing no evidence of that. Oh, they are going to get draw a card off Sentinel. That's fine. There was no getting around that. I should have attacked first, though. That was dumb. Although, yeah, I should have attacked first. No getting around that was just dumb. Punt me. Okay, the good news is they can either have Clarion or Niv, they can't have both. And they don't have Fatal Push. And we also have 3 Blink Moth Nexus, which is a lot of Blink Moth Nexuses. Territorial Kavu resolves. Blink Moth Nexus is really good, by the way. Really, really good.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Hey, Popper Fiends, thanks for the follow. Yeah, if you're playing a Niv deck, it does seem a little bit better to play the Niv deck where you actually get access to 4 copies of Lightning Helix and 60 cards as opposed to 80 cards. Yeah, also Kavu. Yeah, they're very, very dead. This actually is probably a great matchup for us when they don't have exactly the hand they had in Game 1 and when we ever have an Esper Sentinel. Yep. Okay, well, Doubters in shambles, folks. Doubters in shambles. There were almost no Doubters, though. Good job, everybody. Yeah, so anyway, this Tempered Steel deck is sweet. It's much less my speed than the Green-White Blink deck. Much less my speed than the Green-White Blink deck. I love my grind value, but it's really good at the same time. I don't know. I'll be testing both of them in the week leading up to this tournament, and who knows what I'll end up doing. Get to crack some packs. Nice, nice. I honestly think the opposite, Dason. I think I like the Tempered Steel deck against Control more than I like Yorion against Hard Control, and I like Yorion much more against aggro decks than I do the Tempered Steel deck. I think we got pretty lucky to win that Humans match. Cardboard Nomad, yeah, I didn't know how tournament sign-up worked this weekend, and I completely, I just, like, Friday was like, alright, so I guess I should look into how to do this tournament thing, huh? And it's like, oh wait, sign-ups are over. Oops. So I feel sad about that, but I haven't been playing much Brawl lately, because I can never be playing 2 games at once. I don't have the time for that, but hopefully next time there's a Brawl tournament I can qualify for, I'll be in for that as well. I do like the game. I think it's well made. Really fun, free to play. Yeah, and against Sacrifice, I'd much rather have the Yorion deck, which is the big thing. If I see, like, Witch's Oven into Cat, I don't want to be, like, gritting my teeth, being like, oh god, oh god. I've had enough of that in my life. Anyway, so that's going to be it for the stream today. I got other things to do before the weekend ends, but thanks everybody for tuning in, following, subscribing, all of that. Should be doing another stream sometime this week. Should have the time for it, and I really love playing the Blink deck, and it seems like people are enjoying these as well. And yeah, we might stream some Brawl at some point, certainly if I'm doing like tournament prep, try to do that. So thanks for hanging out, and let's see who's around to raid right now. I guess the Red Bull tournament's over, but probably there's someone online. Anybody know who won the Red Bull tournament, by the way? I saw that Seth Manfield was in the top 8, but lost? Let's see. Jim Davis is testing for SCG Con. Ashl's is playing Jun Siddle. Caleb's playing Vintage Cube. Someone's playing Modern Yorion. Goodness, do we do Modern Yorion? Let's just raid Jim. Jim raided me last time, so that's actually easy. All right. Enjoy gym, folks, and hope to see you back next time. Don't forget to follow if you want to know when the stream's happening. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.